Good morning, Wilma. Something I want to show that happened yesterday with our so-called illustrious president at the culture. And they expect us to believe that that moron knows what the hell he's doing. That's scary. Just saying. But I know some people want to know about what's going on over here, so I'm going to show what's going on over here. Interesting report this morning.
Welcome in here on Live Now from Fox. The time is as Israel's prime minister is pushing back against growing international calls for a ceasefire. In a televised address this weekend, Netanyahu saying that Israel's battle to crush Hamas will continue with, quote, full force. Netanyahu added that a ceasefire would only be possible if all 239 hostages being held in Gaza are released. The prime minister also mentioning that after the war, Israel would retain security control in Gaza, rejecting the idea that the Palestinian Authority would be in control. Mark Chandler, a friend of the show, is the director of government relations and professor of practice in the Department of Intelligence and Security Studies at Coastal Carolina University. He's also a former senior defense intelligence official and joins us live to discuss the latest. Thank you so much, as always, for taking the time to be here.
I'm sorry. That's just sad.
Good morning, Josh, and you're quite welcome.
All right. So first off, we have to talk about the basically statement that is circulating now all over social media after we did hear from Netanyahu saying that the Palestinian Authority will not control Gaza after the war is over, but rather Israel will. Tell me your initial thoughts when you hear that and the impact this could have on those calls for a ceasefire.
Well, that's a good question, Josh. And I think we need to put Netanyahu's statement in context out there.
What
he is specifically addressing is the security aspects of Gaza. If we go back to October 6th and before the Hamas attacks into Israel, what Israel had done, it had relinquished control and the security control within Gaza to the Palestinian Authority. Now, we know that Hamas took over that control both politically and militarily and used that to Hamas's advantage to attack Israel for a decade at least since the 2014 fighting and the continual attacks. Israel chose at that time to not be within Gaza and for security purposes and allow Hamas to try to rule that, took it on good faith, if you will. And I think what Israel paid the price, part of the price on those attacks on October 7th was seeing how Hamas continued to build up their capability. So what he's saying is that they are going to go in there, they're going to defeat Hamas, they're going to establish security control for their own purposes, while the Palestinian Authority perhaps can get its act together, if you will, and come up with some sort of peaceful governance out there. So this is security for Israel, and actually it will play better in the long term if they can get rid of Hamas and allow the Palestinian Authority to really establish a true governance that's not Hamas-based.
Do you think a lot of people are maybe misinterpreting what Netanyahu did say? Do you think essentially there's misinformation out there that maybe some people are hearing bits and pieces, others are just putting out there what they want, and maybe there is some confusion?
Josh, that's excellent. I think you hit the nail on the head. There's a lot of misinformation that's being parlayed out there, especially from the pro-Hamas side of things, both in the press and in the public. And you see some of this happening in the Arab states. But what Netanyahu is trying to do is very precisely look at how they are going to control the security for Israel at this. They have not stated they want to control Gaza or the Palestinians into the future. If we go back, we can realize that they were working on a two-state solution and allow the Palestinians to govern themselves. And they made security errors, obviously, that led to October 7th. Hamas, being the terrorists that they are, struck out there. So can they find somebody to govern? And I think that's what folks need to look at is let's get a legitimate Palestinian authority organization in there to rule peacefully and coexist with Israel.
All right, so Israel did expand the, quote, humanitarian pauses in Gaza, opening what they call a humanitarian corridor for 7 hours Saturday. What is the significance of that move overall?
Well, I think that's very significant, Josh. And let's go back in time a few weeks ago when we talked about the phases that the IDF would have to go through. And what's not being covered a lot, and I see in the media and coming out across a lot of social media, if you will, is the fact that Hamas maintains a strong fighting capability in northern Gaza. And so when we look at that, IDF was continually telling civilians to evacuate. They were not allowed to evacuate. These are Palestinian civilians not allowed to evacuate because Hamas was holding them back. And so what the IDF has done in methodically moving through there and then encircling the northern part of Gaza is to create a safe zone, if you will, that allows these civilians to go. We've had over 100,000 civilians evacuate northern Gaza because the IDF has created these safe zones. And so they tactically take this military pause that then takes the control away from Hamas, which has prevented the civilians from evacuating. So now these civilians, and you've seen it in the tens of thousands on a daily basis, being allowed to evacuate safely because the IDF has created these zones. So in looking at that, it's now safe for the IDF to operate there, relatively speaking, in a combat situation, but more safe for those civilians to be able to evacuate.
Let's talk about those growing calls for a ceasefire here, because we do know that France's president now saying that other allies of Israel should call for a ceasefire. What are your thoughts on that? And do you think that Netanyahu is going to make any sort of changes based on what his allies are saying?
I think, let me answer the last part first, and I think Netanyahu is going to take the advice from his military commanders on the ground, which a good leader should do as they achieve for the safety of Israel and security their military objectives to defeat Hamas. So that's where you see these humanitarian corridors are opening more and longer, more lengthy, because they have that ability. The ceasefire aspect, I have to tell you, I've got an opinion here, Josh, and that is, what we're seeing is a call for ceasefire on Israel's part, but not on the part of Hamas. We're not seeing linkages internationally for the release of the hostages in conjunction with a ceasefire as a mandatory prerequisite for a ceasefire. And so we know militarily that Hamas is going to use any kind of pause in the fighting, which I haven't seen the international community coming in as strong against Hamas for a ceasefire as they are against Israel. So we know Hamas is going to refit and rearm and allow itself to move folks around. So Netanyahu will take the advice of his military commanders. He's going to look at, and he just said this either this morning or late last night, that they'll take under advisement all these calls for ceasefire, but security of Israel is first.
That is an interesting point because you're right. You're hearing for calls for a ceasefire against Israel, but not necessarily hearing as much toward Hamas about releasing those 239 hostages. So that is a very good point there. As far as what happens next here, do we think that this will mess with any of the relationships between Israel and its allies? Could this cause any sort of permanent damage as the war does continue?
I think permanent damage in international relations is a relative term. And you can see that with the deals that people make throughout history with allies or former allies. I think what needs to happen is the true Israeli allies should rally around and support Israel's objective for its security and the defeat of Hamas. And I think some of these allies need to have a little introspective as they look at these calls, because Macron, for instance, I think a lot of what he called for, he's playing to a domestic audience. Remember, he has a Muslim immigration problem within France. So I think trying to play domestically what he's calling for is a ceasefire. But at the same time, they talk about Israel's right to self-defense. So I think Macron's trying to play both sides and look like a diplomat, if you will, in the international community. Other nations are coming in stronger against the Islam attacks, the Hamas attacks on Israel. So I think you have to look at that in context. There's going to be bumpy roads throughout. There are in any international or diplomatic relations, but I think the true friends of Israel will come through at this time.
Speaking specifically about the U.S., we know that Secretary of State Antony Blinken has gone over to the Middle East. He has been discussing the war, answering questions about the U.S. involvement and where the U.S. stands. What is the significance of that, and what does that say about the future of the U.S. involvement?
Well, I think you see that we're paying the price, or at least Blinken and his frequent flyer miles are paying the price for a lot of the lack of attention this administration has had in the Middle East. You know, the appeasement toward Iran, not having the Middle East as a higher priority out there, obviously focused on China, focused on what Russia's doing in the Ukraine, both valid responses, but still not in a strategic perspective. And so we don't have the credibility within the Middle East. I think so a lot of this is to try to build the credibility, put the U.S. back in some sort of position
Iran is letting Hamas do its dirty work, so
create that credibility with some of our former allies. You know, we've allowed China to encroach there. So what kind of authority or what kind of credibility does Blinken bring to it? So he's building that back up. He's trying to negotiate both
Iran's idea is
it wasn't us, it was Hamas. The American hostages that are still held there, and trying to support Israel with not allowing this to spread regionally. So he's paying the price a little bit, but they're trying to catch up.
Unfortunately, a lot of innocent people are
we're especially behind in the information aspects and information warfare in the region.
Because of this bullshit.
We're catching up. Hopefully he can continue to make those trips and get us back into where we have some ability to push a position in the Middle East.
And I want to talk a little bit more about those drone attacks that are targeting U.S. forces in Syria and Iraq.
48 attacks by drones
now. How does that play into the U.S. involvement in the war?
Well, Josh, I look at that and I'm counting up the drone attacks as recently as a couple of days ago. And right now I see 47 attacks by Iran-backed militias and Iran-directed militias against U.S. And I see 2 airstrikes where we've gone back against those. And so when I look at that, if you want to count the scores, Iran 47, US 2, and I'm looking at this, and a lot of people, and I think it's disingenuous what we hear coming out of Washington is that these are minor attacks. And so no one's injured. We have 50 plus U.S. military casualties. We have 1 contractor death because of all of these attacks.
Drones blowing up.
And what we're doing, the 2 targets that we've struck back in Syria, I would call these minor targets. I'm blowing up a building, I'm blowing up some munitions, but it's so easy for Iran and its militias in both Iraq and Syria to move those munitions. Those are not really valid strikes. It's more for show. And I think that's what we're doing. So if I want to have a true deterrence, let's start to strike
Oh no,
some of
he's
those
doing
command
something
and
about it.
control nodes
He's
that
paying
the
both
militias
sides.
have between
That's his
themselves
idea of
and
how to
Iran.
deal with it.
Let's hit some of
He's
those
sending money to
supply
both
nodes.
Israel
Let's
and
take out
Palestine.
what those forces are actually using to attack U.S.
He's
forces.
playing with a double-edged sword.
I don't know. As a veteran, as a former Marine, having been there, I start to look at, okay, what are these attacks doing, and does the government have my back? We'll go do
hell
your
no, they
bidding
don't
in
have
the
our
military.
back. They never have.
One of the few things we ask is that leadership has our back, and I'm not sure that this administration truly has our forces back. I don't know what the threshold is for how many troops have to be wounded or killed before I get serious about striking someone. Iran, and I'm not talking about striking Tehran, but striking back a significant blow to stop it. If I can talk about deterrence just a second, Josh, you know, deterrence has to have a couple elements. One, you have to have the capability, and the U.S. has that capability. The adversary has to understand you have that capability.
How many soldiers are going to have to die
Two
before
key elements.
Biden
You
does
have to be
something?
willing to use that capability, and the adversary has to know that you will use that capability. We haven't reached the willingness, and we haven't reached the level where Iran believes we will strike them back in any significant way. So we have a significant deterrence capability in the Middle East right now. We haven't shown the willingness to use it, so we're going to continue to be attacked. Just like Hezbollah leader said yesterday, we're going to continue to attack the U.S.
Oh, it gets worse.
We know that in Saudi Arabia this weekend, Arab and Muslim leaders were there. They met, and the actual outcome of that, some of that, was that the International Criminal Court, they want an investigation into what they call war
With all this
crimes
bullshit,
from
our
Israel.
deficit's
Does
going
that
to
have
go
any sort
from
of impact? Do we expect that we
$33
will
billion
see any sort of
deficit
charges, an
to
investigation, anything
$35
of that
billion
nature, or is
deficit?
that simply what
Because
would
that's
be
what
expected
the
as the Arab
Democrats
and
want.
Muslim leaders do meet there in Saudi Arabia?
Well, great question, Josh. And I think that was a significant meeting. You had 57 countries represented there, both Muslim and Arab countries represented, and that unanimous call for a ceasefire.
And we don't belong
Again,
over there.
It only points to
We need to
Israel
be
to
pulled
conduct
out.
a ceasefire,
It's
but
not
that would
our
be
war.
expected. I think there's a lot of rhetoric out of that event, but you have to look at why
And
they
we
would
need
come
to quit
out.
sending the
A
money.
lot of those Arab nations are worried about the
Barbara.
potential uprising might be too strong.
We need to
a
quit
term
sending
at this
these countries
time,
money
but the
and
sympathy
worry about
that
ourselves
Hamas is
first.
generating
But that will never
within
happen.
their youth, if you will. I don't see a call to help the Palestinians per se by allowing them into their countries. Egypt doesn't want the Palestinians on the Sinai. Jordan doesn't want Palestinians in Jordan. So I don't think you see that full, here's action we're going to take to help the Palestinians. I think it's more of an expected rhetoric you're going to see come from those nations really to try to quell potential domestic unrest. And as for the war crimes question you have, anyone can bring a war crimes accusation. But I don't know that there's legitimacy. I would like to see calls for war crimes against the terrorist organization Hamas. I mean, they're fighting. They prevented civilians from evacuating the combat zone until Israel was able to open up those zones. They are fighting from hospitals. There's a lot of talk about the fighting from hospitals, and are actually Israel's fighting against the hospital areas, but no real understanding of the command and control structures Hamas has set up under there, or the fighting that is emanating from those hospitals by Hamas fighters. That's against the Geneva Convention, against the law of armed conflict. I don't see that balance, if you will, coming out from the Arab states, nor would I expect it to at this time.
And my last question for you, as we always talk about a variety of different topics here that are making headlines as it comes to the Israel-Hamas war, can you help explain some of the controversy over the phrase, quote, from the river to the sea? Because that's something that's been coming up time and time again, and it appears that there are different meanings when you're talking about people who are pro-Israel or pro-Palestine.
Josh, great question, and I'm glad to go over this again. I want to be absolutely clear that since its inception in 1987, Hamas has had this as part of its charter, if you will. And from the river to the sea talks about the River Jordan to the Mediterranean Sea. And it explicitly states they are going to eradicate all Jews and Israel from the land. So that means no Israel, no Jews. And let me take it a step further. They also want to eradicate Christians from any part of that zone. So that is their intent. That is their goal. That is their mantra. They actually swear to that in their charter. So we can't sugarcoat that phrase, and we can't allow it to be something that we don't push back on, especially in the information and education of those people protesting. What Representative Tlaib said, trying to sugarcoat that earlier this week, saying, no, that's just a phrase. We don't mean it. No, that phrase is embedded in the eradication of Jews, okay, and Israel from the face of the planet. And we have to understand the true brutal meaning of that phrase.
All right, Mark Chandler there. Thank you so much for joining us, as always, here on Sunday mornings to break down the latest as there are these developments. Time to be here. Is there anything else you want to add about any of this before I let you go?
Josh, we could probably talk all day. I know you've got other folks to go to, but just a couple of things I want to say. Yesterday was Veterans Day, so thanks to all those who served out there. Friday was the Marine Corps birthday. Happy birthday, Marines. But going back on Veterans Day, I think it's important as we go back and look at that deterrence issue I talked about. You know, we have people continuing to serve in harm's way. And I would like our nation's leadership to support those and ensure that we do have their back on that. And this situation is going to continue to grow. We see fighting from Lebanon. That's going to continue. Attacks against the U.S. are going to continue. Let's see some balance and some strength come from Washington to support Israel and stop this fighting, stop Hamas from what it's doing, so that we can go back to October 6th and before and ensure some peace if we really want peace throughout that land. Thank you.
All right, Mark Chandler, we appreciate you taking the time to join us as always. Thank you so much.
Josh, thank you, and have a great day.
You too. All right, everybody, you are taking a live look. As I mentioned, this is a shot that we do have, one of many cameras across the Middle East there, starting with that look at southern Israel near the Gaza border as Israel's prime minister pushing back against those growing international calls for a ceasefire. That came during a televised address this weekend where Netanyahu said that Israel's battle to crush Hamas will continue, quote, with full force. Netanyahu adding that a ceasefire would only be possible if all 239 hostages that are being held in Gaza are released. It is now 8:20 on the East Coast and 5:20 on the West Coast. Thank you so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox. We are going to head to our first 2-minute commercial break of the hour, but on the other side, we'll get right back into your top stories, headlines, and live events. You're watching Live Now from Fox.
You're right, Jill. You can't, but that's exactly what they're trying to do. That's what they're trying to do. Oh yeah, I know they do, and basically what it is boils down to is they want to make it to where Palestinians and Christians and Jews are eradicated, and that's wrong. That's wrong. They have every right to live just like everybody else. They have the same right as everybody else. But no, they don't think so. They want to get rid of them. Which is ludicrous. And the fact that people believe in this shit makes it even worse. And I'm sorry. I believe everybody has a right to live. Everybody has a right to choose their religion. It's not for me to tell somebody, well, you can't be a Jew or you can't be a Christian because God forbid. No. Morning, Hector. How you been? It's ridiculous. Where do these people get off thinking they have the ability and the right to tell people how to live their life? It's not for them to worry about it. It's not their life. It really isn't. It's not for them to tell people what to do. Morning, Christine. I just don't get it. That'd be like me going up to an Arab. I'm sorry, you can't be an Arab. You can't do that. I think Iran needs to be smacked upside the head. Because Iran's pushing all this shit. They really are. They want total domination in the Middle East. Just like South Korea wants total domination in the China Sea. These countries think they should have total control of everybody. But they need to worry about themselves only, not everybody else. But we all know that's not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. And that's the problem. But I'll be right back. No, this world's losing its mind. They really are. Just like yesterday, somebody told me I shouldn't wear the shirt I'm wearing because it makes the comment, freedom wasn't free. Because they apparently have no clue what it costs for freedom. And that's even sadder. Because anybody in their right mind knows freedom doesn't come free. Let's see here. Trolls aren't welcome. They need to. Mayorkas needs to be removed. I'm sorry. That idiot needs to be removed and held accountable for his actions. He really does. I'm sorry. That man is playing with people's lives. And no, you don't play with people's lives. No, they need to get rid of Mayorkas altogether. That man's a danger to society. And that man never has answers. Ever. He has gone to Senate hearings in the last 4 months 7 times. And every one of them, he doesn't have an answer. He doesn't have data. Yes, the pilot survived. They ejected, but they did lose the aircraft. It's funny. Mayorkas knows every time he goes in front of a Senate committee, the first thing they ask him is for data. But yet he never comes in with any. Every time. Every time he comes in, the first question they ask out of him is data. But he never has any. And this guy runs this department? Seriously? I believe they will because of the fact that they know, we know, Mayorkas is lying his ass off. I think they would. I really do. Because Democrats don't even want him. That's why I'm thinking he'd get removed. Because there's a lot of Democrats that don't agree with what he's doing. Because he hasn't even answered the Democrats' questions. And all that's done is proceeded to piss them off. If you want to keep your job, you don't piss off your politicians that you work for. They ask you questions, you answer them. You don't play games. That's a good way of getting fired. And yes, he needs to be fired. Well, a lot of them are waking up. And they're realizing what they're standing for is nothing but a joke. It really is. If you think about it, look at what the Democrats stand for. What do they actually stand for? They stand for, they want to control each and every single American citizen, tell them how to live their life, tell them where to spend their money, tell them what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and you got to ask permission before you can. That's not what America was based on. America was not a dictator. nor will we ever be one. Those are third-rate nations. We're not a third-rate nation. And we don't need Democrats telling us how to live our life. I think we know how to do that on our own. Now, the newer society, not so much, not so sure about that one. But the rest of society, from 30s on, I think we pretty much know how to run our lives. We don't need somebody telling us how to do it. Whether the Democrats like it or not, it's not their choice. It's ours. And no, children, it's never too late to do change. But the problem is, you got to look at this. In order for things to change, we got to reverse 60 years with the political bullshit. 60 years. It's not going to happen overnight. Because we've been dealing with this shit for 60 years, and it's going to take 60 years to fix it. Thank God I'm not going to be around when that happens. Nor mine, Christine. But it's going to take 60 years to fix what's screwed up. Because it took 60 years to get here. It's going to take 60 years to get away from here. And people don't understand that. They think it's going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. Because this didn't happen overnight. This has been going on for 60 years. This has been happening for 60 years. That's going to take just that long, if not longer, to fix it. I'll tell you right now, our forefathers are rolling over in their graves watching what's going on. Because they had things set up to where politicians did their job the way they were supposed to. None of this would be happening. They will always just use a band-aid. They don't want to fix the real issues. Because as long as they don't fix the real issues, they have things to play with. Think about it. If you don't fix the cause, you can keep going back to it. And what is it all about? The same thing. Money. Nope, we won't. They don't. According to them, there's nothing wrong. It's all part of their scam. Oh, there's nothing wrong in this country. Everything's fine. So let's go from $33 trillion debt to $35 trillion debt, and maybe we might be able to fund the government. You know what? Shut the damn thing down. The whole idea is to reduce the deficit, not add to it. But they're talking taking a deficit of $33 trillion and making it go up to $35 trillion. That's bullshit. And yet, not a single American gets to have a say-so in what they do. Not one American gets to have a say-so. Well, they are. That's exactly what they're doing, Freebird. And it's nonstop. It's not. That's the problem, Shield. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. You cannot do a budget in two parts. You have to have it all laid out in one. So there's clarity. Because you do a budget in two parts, you don't have clarity. You got manipulation. And that's exactly what it is, manipulation. They're trying to manipulate the budget to give them money to play with. That's all they're doing. They're trying to manipulate the taxpayers to pay out more money to create a bigger deficit for them to play with. That's all it is in a nutshell. Because they want to donate this money to these countries instead of putting the money where it belongs, and that's into the American citizen. Other countries are more important than the Americans are, and that's bullshit. I don't care who you are. When you put other countries over your own citizens, there's a problem. It's not going to happen. They don't agree with each other, no matter what side. No matter what side, they're not going to agree. Believe it or not, Shield, at one time we actually were in the black with our economy. One president actually got us there. And since then, it's been downhill. He's the only president to ever put us on the positive side. And I hate to say it, was Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton actually had us in the black. The only president to ever do that. The only president to put us on the positive. And the moment he got out of office, we went downhill and has been going downhill ever since. The moment he was replaced, we went from being black to being in the red the very next year. What does that say about our politicians? We were on the good, and within a year, we were in the negative. And that's sad. How do you take an economy that's doing good, that's got the American itself in the positive, to making it in the negative by billions of dollars? Wasteful spending, stupidity. That's all it was. Because within the first year after Bill Clinton was president, we went from positive to negative. 1 year. Because our politicians were spending stupidly. They didn't care. They didn't care. I know. But we were in the black. We were in the black by $300 billion. And in 1 year, we went from $300 billion on the good side to $972 trillion on the bad side. No, wait, no, $972 billion on the bad side. They wiped out what we had in 1 year, completely wiped it out. How did somebody do that in 1 year? Nothing was changed. They hadn't increased they hadn't added any new departments or anything else. Payroll was still the same, but yet they went from a 300 billion positive to over 600 billion negative in 1 year. That's bullshit. Children, it's always been that way. Even during Bill Clinton, and he still got it to where we were in the positive. And in 1 year, we went from positive to negative. 1 year, 365 days. That's all it took them. Well, because we allowed them to make that decision. We, the people, allowed them to make that decision. We, the people, allowed that to happen. So the only one we can blame is ourselves. Let's look at a first-year politician's payroll, shall we? A first-year salary. Now they got lobbyists and big corporations donating to them for them to go their direction. So by the time a politician is in DC for 1 year, they go from being average everyday payroll to being millionaires because of the amount of money coming in. No, we allowed them to remove the statement that prevented them from making their pay increases. Chilled. Because before, there used to be a rule that they could not make pay increases. It had to go to the general population vote. Americans had to vote on it. They figured out a way around that, and nobody stopped them from doing it. So they eliminated it so they can make their own decision. And we allowed them to do it. Morning, Red. We allowed them to do it. See, that's one thing people don't get. Everything going on in D.C. Okay, Dachshund. Everything going on in D.C., we are accountable for it because we, the American citizens, allowed it to happen. We're to blame. We're to blame for all of it. We really are. And people don't get it. They're like, well, the politicians is politicians. Well, guess what? We're to blame. We allowed them to do it. We allowed them to do it. So we got nobody to blame but ourselves. Because if you know anything about the Constitution and the preamble and everything else, it says, we the people, of the people, by the people. We are responsible. Oh, no. So there's more than that you can do. But people don't do it because they're afraid. They're afraid. What up, Red? Oh, you're on Android Chrome, which has a bug that causes echo. Google's working to fix it for now. Please ask your question to wear headphones to avoid echo
Okay,
or use a different browser.
Don't worry, I figured it all out. I figured out
Oh, no,
how
that's
it's
the
working.
warning I just got from you.
I know. I figured out how it's working now. Don't worry.
And it's like, oh, shit.
Yeah, I've been figuring out the last 2 days.
But you're on.
So
Okay.
the only
What are you doing
time it's
today?
going to cause an echo is if there's 2 people up here with Androids.
I'm not on Android. I'm on
Right.
a computer.
So you won't have an echo because I'm the only one with an Android. Now, if somebody else comes up with an Android, I'm gonna have to dip out because that's when
Well,
the
why
echo will
don't you
start.
use Internet Explorer?
I just woke up, dude.
Well, no, I understand it, but if you use Internet Explorer, you eliminate the problem.
You know me. I'm just happy I got my shit back this morning. I went to go. I clicked the
Yeah, I
live button
know.
and I was able to go
Been a
live. I was
long
like, oh
week.
yes.
Been a long week, hasn't it?
Oh
That's
my
Red.
gosh.
That's not me.
Oh, am I echoing? Fuck.
Yeah, it sounds like you got 2 phones running. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, he's using Chrome or an Android phone, and that's what's causing the problem. What he needs to do is just use Internet Explorer, and the problem's eliminated.
Because Internet Explorer will work on an Android phone. I refuse to use Chrome. Chrome sucks. It really does. It really does. I've never liked Chrome ever since they came out with it. It's a bad platform. Well, you can try Safari. You can try Firefox. There's a bunch of different ones you can try that will work with an Android. On my iPhone, I use Safari. But that's what works with iPhone. But you can choose any platform you want. Oh. Yeah, I just need to be taken out to the back 40 and just shot. I'm tired of this back pain. See, I don't use Google. Everything I do, I run through MSN. I don't have Google downloaded or anything else. I don't even Google search. Only time I use Google is if I'm using Google Earth. Other than that, I don't use it. But I try going with programs that I know will work. Okay. Well, if you think about it, for the longest time, Microsoft had everybody by the balls too with Windows. Well, the problem is trying to get platforms to work with either StreamYard or Prism without having the echo effects going. It's just a conflict between languages. That's all it is. I was sleeping. Trying to let my back heal. Let me tell you, back pains hurt. They suck. And doctors don't know what the fuck they're doing when it comes to the back. They really don't. And then I come to find out last night, I went to go take a hot shower and was greeted by an ice cold shower. So now I got to replace a hot water heater. They don't ever make things to last anymore. They really don't. And that's done on purpose. In the old days, they made things to last. Nowadays, they make things to be replaced. So it's a money scheme. Cars, appliances, you name it, shit don't last no more. It's all a scam. And I almost got a free ride last night, but hey, that's neither here nor there. I would have enjoyed it. Well, that's what I'm thinking about doing, is getting it on demand. Let's try this a second time, shall we?
Oh, it'll work this time.
Much better.
Fix it.
What'd you do?
I use something else.
Well, that's it. Don't use Chrome. Chrome sucks.
I know, but and when you go to, so if I'm watching your YouTube page, right, and I click the link, it's automatically going to take me right there because my phone is set up through Google. So I had to do it a little different. Right, I had to do it a little different. So it just took me a minute.
Yeah, well,
This is what I had to do last night.
going through Google.
Yeah, I had to do it differently.
Well, but you sound better though. You sound much better. And there's no echo. So now you know what you got to do.
Yeah, I really thought it was just when two people had Google because that's what it was doing on mine.
No, you sound crystal clear right now. No echo, no nothing.
Because when for the last 2 nights when it was me, Ninja, BB, and Brenda, if Brenda was muted, everyone else could talk and no one echoed. It was only Brenda.
Wow.
Yeah, it was weird. If Brenda muted, no one else echoed.
Well, see, if you run what you're running right now,
everyone echoed.
If you run what you're running right now, you won't have a problem.
Yeah, that's what I did last night. I got to give Brenda. I got to show Brenda how to do it.
Because you sound really good. There's no echo. There's no hollowness. No nothing. You sound like you on whatever you're running right now.
Fuck, I should sound more than me. I slept for 11 hours last night.
Yeah, I'm lucky if I can get 4 hours in a night. What the hell are you talking about? 11?
I know. Tell me about it.
Oh shit.
It's you know what it is, honestly? It's being back in good old Tennessee. I can sleep like a baby.
There you go. I thought you were going to Buffalo.
You never know. You never know, Jeff.
Oh, well.
You never know.
Oh well, it is what it is, right?
I just know that the day I had that live stream and it was Buffalo bound. So when I was sitting at the bus station waiting for the bus, I popped in Troll Central and everyone was saying I was heading to Ninja. So I was like, oh, okay. If you say I'm heading to Ninja.
Yeah, I saw that. And I was cracking up laughing. I was like, God, you guys are stupid.
I'll tell you I'm going to Ninjas then. How do you like that shit?
Oh, hell. They keep coming up with lies and then they say, I said it. Chris S. made a comment that I made a comment that I was a Commodore or a commander. I've never done that. That's an officer's rank. I was enlisted.
They're stupid. I literally had to come back to Tennessee for my surgery, so whatever.
Well, no, they drum up these lies to outdo each other, and then they say it was me saying it when it wasn't me even saying it. Because they got nothing. They have absolutely nothing.
Did you hear us go after Telescope the other night?
No.
Oh, dude, we had Telescope so mad. He took off from Troll Central, and Troll Central didn't move for about 3 hours.
Oh Lord. Well, as far as those idiots go, they're beneath me. They're irrelevant. They were never was. And here's the funny part. One of them talks about how people lie. But yeah, for 2 years, that's all she did. Until she self-doxed herself and put all her shit out there. And they still believe that she's telling the truth. When
Oh, I
her
know.
shit was put out there, it's like, what the fuck? She put out her real shit, and you guys still think she's being honest with you. Come on. Her autofill gave her up. And you guys still believe in her bullshit.
So
That's
I really
sad.
popped on here. So I really popped on. Not only did I pop on to tell you I got my battleship back, but fucking, I
I
heard
saw
you were
your
talking about
note,
voting, right?
Mama, and you're welcome.
Right. So I heard you were talking about voting, right?
Yeah,
And you, what the hell did you say? You said, we put ourselves into this position.
we did.
Well, there ain't no getting out by voting.
No.
I hate to say this. I hate to be the bearer of
No,
bad news
voting
for
ain't going to
everyone.
fix it. What's going to fix it is we need to clean the swamp.
Voting ain't the way out of this shit.
No,
It's
we
just
need to
not.
clean the swamp.
There is nothing we could possibly do anymore to change the direction our government is going unless we all stand the fuck up and do something.
Exactly.
That's it.
And that's not going to happen.
Nope.
And we can thank J6 for that because the government did what they wanted to do and they put the fear of God in people because of J6. That's what they set out to do, and that's exactly what they did.
We don't got to do it like J6 though. That's the thing.
No. What I mean is they use J6 as a tool to scare people from standing up. And that's exactly what it did. It did what they wanted it to do. People are afraid to stand up now.
That's not. I wouldn't say that's 100% true though, Jeff. Right? I wouldn't say that's 100% true, and that's because look at TPC. That was after J6, and everybody was still ready to go in there and shut that shit down. Now,
Actually,
just because the organizers didn't want to do it, doesn't mean everyone else didn't want to do it.
yeah. But what I'm saying is, it did what they set out for it to do. It scared a lot of people, thinking if I stand up to the government, I'm going to end up in prison. And it did. It's exactly what they set it out to do, and it did. It scared a lot of people. Do I agree with it? No. Do I agree with that? No.
Well, the more we sit there and keep voting for a corrupt system, the more we're going to go down the toilet. And I hate
Morning
to say this
table.
to anyone that does vote out there, but if you voted, you just added to the problem. You didn't fix the problem anyway. You didn't try to put someone good in there. You added to the problem because no matter who we put in there, they're going to be fucked up because of how
Well,
corrupt our government is already.
it's not that. It's because how much money they will get to be bought. That's all it is.
Exactly. That's
You
what I
want to
mean.
become a millionaire, you could go into politics because within the first year you'll be a millionaire.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Jeff. What I'm saying is exactly what you're saying in just a different way.
Because they've already proven it. It's as a politician, 1 year in DC, you will be a millionaire. Even though that's not what you get paid for your salary, you will be a millionaire within the first year.
And that's the problem.
It is. That's why we need to get rid of lobbyist groups. We need to get rid of this 1% big corporations putting money in our politicians' back pocket. Until that happens, nothing's ever going to change. Good morning, Ken Minty. Nothing will ever change.
Oh, I know. I fucking know. That's why I'm disgusted with the whole thing.
Well, what I don't get is how many people are blinded to this shit.
I know.
Oh, this shit's been going on for 6 years. Why the hell are you blind to it? It's not like it happened overnight. This shit's been going on for 60 years.
If not longer.
I'd have to agree with it being longer. Because this shit didn't just happen overnight. This shit's been going on for years.
Yeah.
And for people to be blind to it makes absolutely no sense.
Yep. And everybody just runs right back to the polls. Oh, I'm going to go vote someone new in. Yay. And they're going to do the same thing everyone else does. Hip, hip, hooray. Now, just imagine, instead of standing up, right, instead, because I know everyone's scared, what happens if everyone just didn't vote? Imagine the shockwaves through the fucking government that would create. Imagine. Imagine how scared the government would be if nobody fucking voted at all.
That's a scary thought.
Exactly.
Because then that means nothing will ever change.
You sure?
Well, yeah, because nobody would be voted out.
Nobody would be voted in.
But the problem is we need to change what's there. Not let it keep going.
But
No,
can't
they're
they all
doing that
so
on their
here,
own.
look.
Look at
I'm not
Biden.
the smartest. I'm not the smartest when it comes to
Well,
this shit. So let me ask you a
think about
question,
it,
okay?
Rick.
Hold on, let me ask you a
Biden's been
question.
there for 47 years as a
But he keeps getting
politician.
right. So hold
He's
on. Let me
done
get.
absolutely jack shit.
So what I'm trying to say is, look, what I'm trying to say is, right? We'll use the president for example, right? So the president gets voted in every 4 years, right? Now at the end of his term, it's the end of his term, right? Now if nobody votes for a new president, that's still the end of his term. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I understand that.
They wouldn't. They would have to fucking. You should understand the shockwaves that would go through the government. Because if all of a sudden, okay,
I'm
all these
surprised
people are out and
Shockwave.
nobody else is going in, okay, then we wait 2 years. Okay, we don't vote again. Okay, all those people are gone now and nobody gets voted in. What's going to be left of the government?
Well, I'm surprised Shockwaves didn't go through the government yesterday. Did you see what Biden did at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier?
No, I don't watch his ass.
The damn fool was lost.
Doesn't
He had to
surprise
have a
me.
Marine to tell him where to go.
Doesn't surprise me.
And this is supposed to be our president that lays the wreath on the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier every Veterans Day. The man didn't know what the hell to do.
Didn't he just do it last year?
Yeah. But he couldn't remember. The Marine had to tell him when to turn around and go stand next to Camellia because the fool didn't know what he was doing.
Oh, God.
And they expect us to believe that this man can do his job? Really?
Pretty much.
Oh, hell no. A true president would have known what to do without having to be told by a Marine what to do. This man needs to be taken out of office.
I don't know.
It's ridiculous. I saw that video and I was like, oh my God. This dude has lost his ever-loving mind. But then again, prior to the Land of the Reeves earlier this week, he told the AUAWW that he's been a member longer than most of those people have been. And I'm thinking, you stupid son of a bitch.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty fucking much.
Well, the problem is if you don't vote, they don't get replaced. So the problem continues. The problem just continues.
But they don't know, but they're not in office anymore either, though. I understand it'll cause a big fucking problem. I really get it, but we got a fucking big problem.
See, here's the problem. The way those seats work, even if somebody doesn't vote, I mean, if nobody votes for anybody, the incumbent would retain the seat, which means the person that's there right now would still have that seat, which is bullshit. But that's how it works.
Well, putting someone else in there is going to be the same amount of bullshit. So what the fuck is the difference? Should we just keep doing the same thing, or do we try something different?
I be honest with you, I think we need to just eliminate DC altogether. I think each state needs to take it over its own state and have its own government within inside that state. And then those states don't form a government, but they form like an HOA type of deal. You know what I'm talking about? So they all come together once a year and talk with each other. So every state pretty much on the same page as each other, but yet the states run themselves. They don't fall underneath a governmental body. Well, if you think about it, God is in control. Morning, Yancy. And I just look at it this way. It's just an evil trick on us. Morning, Elaine. But it is what it is. I look at it this way. In 20 years, I'm not going to have to worry about it anyway. Morning, Chill Pill. No, we don't stand down. We keep fighting for what we believe in. But like I said, in 20 years, I'm not going to have to worry about it. I'm not going to be here. But until then, I'll fight. Morning, Millie. I'll fight for this country every step of the way until my day is up. And then I'll be looking down on it, shaking my head, thinking, Jesus Christ, they'll never learn. Because that's what it's going to come down to. That's fine. No, that's what it's going to come down to. That's what it's going to come down to. Me looking down upon earth after I die, shaking my head going, they'll never learn. Because they won't. They just will not learn. And that's pretty sad. This shit's been going on for 60 years, and nobody has yet to learn. Come on. It's not rocket science. It's simple. Get rid of lobbyists. Get rid of big corporations. Get rid of their ability to put money in pockets of politicians. How hard is that? Reduce the salaries of all the politicians. Oh my fucking God. You eliminate all that, make them go back down to what they should be making, hold them accountable to do their job that they're hired to do, put in term limits. It's that simple. Well, children, unfortunately, these politicians have got every single American in a fucking ring. Just run in circles. They're running circles like lost sheep. You know what? Doc, you know, I understand you stick up for Israel. I understand that. But I don't give a fuck what Biden does. We shouldn't even be involved in this in any way, shape, or form. It's not our battle. This is not our battle. We need to stay the hell out of it. This stupid government put us in this position we shouldn't be in. It's not our battle. Russia, Ukraine is not our battle, but we were involved in that. Now we got Israel and Palestine. That's not our battle. Now we got Iran, China. Not our battle. No, it's not. No. And you know, I support your decision.
Ah,
No.
I was gonna say, why am I alone?
No, I'm back. I hit the wrong button. No, I understand where you're coming from, Doxson, but think about it. It's not good versus evil. It really isn't. Our government has never, ever put Americans first. They always put other countries first. No, it's time for this government to pull their head out of their ass and actually put Americans first before everybody else. We come first, not them. We come first. We need to take care of us. We're not the cure-all, fix-all for every goddamn country in the world. Our job is simply to take care of ourselves. And our government can't do that. They have never done that. About damn time they started taking care of us before we take care of anybody else.
Here's another thing we could do. What happens if we made all the fucking politicians only make fucking $40,000 a year? Period. You're not allowed to make anything more than $40,000 a year if you want to be in a political office.
100%. I agree. That's what it should be. It should be capped. Can't make no more.
And I totally understand the whole argument of, okay, they make so much money because they have to have 2 residents because they need to have a residence in D.C.
No, they don't.
Well, hold on. There's an easy fix for that, because that's what I hear a lot of times. And the easy fix for that is the government buys all the fucking buildings and lets the fucking people live in there for free.
Exactly.
That's lets all the fucking people that are in office live in the buildings for free.
Or reduced rent.
Why not? Well, no, just buy the buildings. Fuck it, just buy the buildings. We got the money.
Trust me, I agree with you 100%. But I'm still trying to figure out why Americans think we need to help every other country before we help ourselves. That's
I'm with you there. I'm with you there.
We need to come first. I'm tired about this country taking care of other people, but yet they can't take care of our own.
I'm with you there.
Exactly, Kit Kat. Exactly. But yet our government does exactly just that. They're taking care of Iran or Ukraine. They're taking care of Palestine. They're taking care of Israel. They're taking care of this country. They're taking care of that country. They're taking care of South Korea. They're taking care of Taiwan. But yet they will not take care of us. And nobody sees a problem with this picture? Come on. Look at the homeless problem we have nationwide. Look at the education problem we have nationwide. It's not one location or another. It's the entire United States. And these damn idiots in D.C. would rather take care of another country over its own people. And nobody sees a problem with that. Get real, people.
And I agree with Mr. Mondo. We put them in dorms. We put everybody that's in office in dorms.
Exactly.
And here's the other thing.
Trillions of dollars going out every single day to other countries that should be being used right here on our own home turf.
And here's the other thing. So everybody, this is another big point that everyone likes to use. Okay, well, what about airfare? How are they supposed to get back home at the weekend so they can go see their families and stuff? Okay, that's easy. That's easy. Put them on a military flight and ship them to the nearest military base that's close to their house. Done. Next.
That's it. That's it. Military hops.
Next.
Military hops. Fly out every single day. Transporting military personnel all over the United States. They can get on a military hop and fly home.
Exactly.
Because it's not like that military hop's not going to be flying anyway.
Exactly.
Why do they need first-class luxury accommodations? They don't.
Telling you, it'd be cheaper. It would be cheaper.
I've been on quite a few C-130s and other planes. Oh, it would. But the politicians have to fly first class, you know. Fuck that. Get your ass on that C-130 and shut up.
Oh my God, Jeff! Let me tell you a classic one. Now that we're talking about flying, oh, you're gonna love this one. So G was in whose chat were we all in? I think we were in Easy's chat, and G was giving me shit because she's like, "Why didn't you fly back to Tennessee? Didn't have enough money, so you took a bus." Now, Jeff, here's the crazy part about this: it's a 3-hour and 30-minute drive, right?
Yeah.
Compared to going to the airport round trip, which should be a 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
Plus the flight. So a 4-hour drive plus the flight. So tell me what kind of common sense. Tell me what kind of common sense that is. I was like, are you fucking serious, G? You want me to drive for 4 hours so I can fly for an hour? Or I can fly for like 20 minutes probably. What? What? So you want to make it a 4-hour and 20-minute trip instead of a 3-hour trip? That's just genius.
That's
genius, bro.
That's their thinking.
Holy shit. Acting like I went like half across the country or something.
Yeah, no, I don't know. People think I'm strange because I firmly believe in this country. Yeah, I do, because I fought for this goddamn country. And because of that, I think this country deserves better. I've seen better. Now I'm seeing the worst. Because this country used to be really good. This country used to be in really good shape. And we were actually taking care of our own.
I've never seen better.
I'm older than you.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
You never know.
About 20 years.
You never know. Here you were thinking I was in Buffalo.
20. Nah, I got you by good 20.
You thought I was in Buffalo, so I mean, you never know.
No, I got you by 20. You're in your 40s. I'm up there with around 60.
You're in your 80s. I know. It's okay.
Oh, well. It is what it is, right? Oh, no, Chuck. I'm well aware of. I haven't seen the worst because it's yet to come. Because it
Jeff,
is
do
going
you
to
think
get
we're
worse.
insured every day?
It's been getting worse every single day for the last 60 years. And it's going to continue to get worse until we hit rock bottom. And then when we hit rock bottom, we're looking at World War III or a civil war on American soil. Do I want to see that? No. Because that's when innocent people get killed, get hurt. Family members shooting at each other. No. That's not what we need. But people don't understand that. They don't understand the next war that the United States gets involved in is going to happen on American soil. Because this is the only country that has not had a war with other nations on its soil, and everybody's gunning to do it right here on our own soil.
That's not
I think we got the sleeper units.
But that's not very smart, Jeff. And I have to say that's why we have never been invaded.
Aren't smart, Red. We know that.
Well, the reason why we haven't been invaded, Jeff, is because of the amount of weapons that we have.
I understand that, but
just think about how many citizens literally turn into the militia.
Yeah, but if you look at what's going on right now, they've already made the comment. Russia, China, South Korea have all made a comment. They are going to attack the United States if shit doesn't stop. They're not going to attack people overseas. They're going to attack the continental United States. All three countries have already made that comment. So has Iran. That's four countries.
Let them try. That's what I say. Let them try.
Russia's got the capability to do it. So does South Korea.
North Korea.
North Korea. Both of those two have the capability. China is working on that capability, and they're almost there. But Russia can hit us right now. Russia's got the missiles that will make it all the way over here and hit us right now. China's working on nerves.
I say it's time for fun then.
Well, they're not going to hit the biggest army bases. They're going to hit the White House, the Pentagon. Then they're going after the bases. Then they're going to go after the infrastructure, the power grid, the water supply. War is war, no matter how you look at it. And first things you do, you take out the leadership. Washington, D.C., the Pentagon, both gone. Then you go after the power grid. No power, people can't do anything. Then you go after the water supply. No water, people will die. Then you go after the food chain. Everything's done in steps. They won't go after the bases. They'll go after the key components first. Because rule of war is simple. You eliminate power, you eliminate water. Because people need water to survive. People need power. You take those two out, there is nothing.
You okay, girl?
That's it, Shield, and that's why they're going to do it. Because we will be fighting with each other to survive.
The dog just tried to jump on the deck and slipped and fell.
Aw.
It was really cute. Really sad.
People don't get it. If we go to World War III or another civil war, we're going to be fighting amongst ourselves, trying to survive. On top of fighting whoever we're fighting. And people don't get it.
See, Tild, if it gets to a point like that, right, I really want to have faith. And I want to have faith in it like the TPC, right? And that's the way I look at it, right? We were in a really, really shitty spot, and we were all pretty much fucked. Everybody was freezing. Everybody was fucking miserable. Everybody was cold. Everybody was wet. But somehow, some way, we all still came together. Even the ones that didn't like each other still came together and helped each other out. So I mean, it might seem like, okay, if we get attacked and they take out our power grid, Americans are going to go against Americans. But if we know we were attacked, look at 9/11, for instance. Look at how we were all able to come together then.
Because it was an inside job.
Well, no, not just that. We didn't know it was an inside job at that point, right? We just knew we
Yeah.
were under attack, right? We
Yeah,
just knew we were under attack, and we all came together. Now, if all
but
of a
they
sudden
weren't
missiles
going
start
after the
coming in,
grid. They weren't going
right?
after the grids, though. That's the
But if
difference.
they do come in and take out the grid, and we all know what's going on, right? I don't think
It ain't gonna
we're going to
matter.
go against each other. I
Oh
don't
no,
think
we
we're going to
will.
go against. Well,
Think
I
about
mean,
it, Red. Think
there's
about it.
always going to be the criminal element out there that's going to
No, no,
go
no,
and
no,
do
no,
that.
no, 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 no. It has nothing to do with the criminal element. Think about it. If they take out the power grid, they take out the water grid, they take out the food chain, you will do whatever you can to help your family survive. You will do whatever necessary to survive.
And
That
how do
means
you know? And
protecting your neighbors.
see, you're not having faith. You're not having faith in the people,
No, I
right?
just know human nature. I just know human nature.
I don't. I disagree with that, Jeff. When hard times come, I've always seen people come together. I've never,
Yeah,
and
yeah, when it
I
doesn't
don't.
affect them, it doesn't really affect them on the front. But when you take out the power, the water, and the food, that's going to affect people on the home front. That's a whole different ballpark. They're going to do whatever they can to survive. That's why they call it survival of the fittest.
But Jeff, you're not looking at the fucking power of human nature and the power of communities and the power of coming together and the power of getting pissed off. The power
I
of getting
understand
pissed
that.
off all together at someone and banding together to go
Yeah,
fuck shit up.
I understand all that, Red, but I'm also looking at when it comes down to it and your family is starving and wants to eat, you will do whatever you can to make sure they have that food.
But are you gonna? Here's the
Whatever
thing. Here's
you
what I'm trying
can.
to say, Jeff. Here, wait. Let me explain it a little bit different then, right? So instead of automatically, when your family's hungry, pulling out the gun and going over your neighbor's house and lighting everything up, how do you know that person won't just go next door and be like, hey, I got this. Do you have any of that? Have you heard anything? Is there anybody starting? Is there anyone moving
I
in a
understand that.
direction? Where
I
where is
understand that.
everyone meeting up? See, there's no way
See,
to know until it happens, though. So I mean, saying that
Red,
we're
here's
all
the
fucked
thing.
isn't the actual
Here,
way to go.
but here's the thing, Red. You know your circles. Everybody has circles. And when all the shit hits the fan, those circles will come together and say, okay, I got this, 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 and this. Who needs what? That's the circle. Anything outside that circle will do whatever they can to bust into that circle to get whatever you have in that circle. No, Matt, I'm not thinking too big. I'm looking at facts. I'm looking at the facts. I'm looking at facts. See, most of you guys have never seen war or been in a country that's gone to war. You guys have all seen it on TV. Talk to veterans who've been in these countries and watched what happens to the people because of these wars. It becomes a cat versus cat type of fight. It really does. Because when you're trying to survive, you will do whatever it takes to survive. And that's what these people are doing right now. They're trying to survive. And innocent people are getting hurt because of idiots thinking they need to have power. That's what all it is in a nutshell. Innocent
So
people are getting hurt because of idiots wanting power.
well, I've seen in other wars, right? I've seen in other wars where the food supply and the water supply has been cut off, and I haven't seen those fucking civilians turn on each other. I've seen them band together and fuck shit up.
I've seen them turn on each other. Good example over in Middle East during Desert Storm. They actually had in groups inside some of the communities fighting with each other, trying to get supplies. It all boils down to the simple fact of survival of the fittest. Because That's why I've told everybody, stock up, be prepared. But that's on them. It's their choice if they do or not. It's like the saying goes, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. When it's ready to drink, it'll drink. But you always
I'm
stock
glad
up
I'm
for
in
the
Tennessee.
unexpected.
There's plenty of fishing poles and tackle boxes here.
That's it.
Just
And do
saying.
I honestly think we'll have a war on American soil? Yes. Do I think it'll go the way these idiots think it will go? Oh, hell no. They'll have their asses handed to them within the first week. But they'll try. That's how stupid they are. They will try. And they'll have their asses handed to them within a week. And then they'll be like, oh shit, we fucked up. But by that time, it's too late. It's done and over with. And unfortunately, our government's egging it on. They really are. If you think about it, our government is pushing for this to happen. Why? Well, Freebird, if a situation happens on American soil, the last place you want to be is in a major city. The last place you want to be is in a major city. Because that's the major towns like LA, San Francisco, Phoenix, Denver. Those towns are going to light up and it's going to be pure hell. So you don't want to be there. Because that's where the problems are going to happen first, are in the major cities. Hell, just in Phoenix alone, they got homeless killing homeless for food. It's already started. And there shouldn't be a single homeless person one anywhere. But our government doesn't give a shit.
I agree. And it's funny, especially when you're traveling, when you're going through really rural areas and you see the amount of abandoned houses there are. You literally see the amount of abandoned houses that literally don't need much work to be able to have somebody living in it. Very, very, like,
it makes your stomach
couple,
turn.
maybe a couple windows, like, for real.
Yeah. And it makes your stomach turn because you're thinking, oh my God, what the hell's wrong with people? This is not how we're supposed to be living. It makes you open your eyes and think, on what the fuck is wrong with this country? Oh, it is. There's a town here in Phoenix, not very far from Phoenix itself. It used to be a thriving town. It was an up and coming town. Every building in this town is all empty. Nobody lives in this town anymore. Nobody. And the buildings are just sitting there going to rot.
Crystal just took me through a town like that in West Virginia.
It's sad.
It was a whole entire town,
Put
same
these
way.
homeless people.
The whole thing was just about abandoned.
Yeah, put these homeless people in there. Let them live in that town. Give them something. Give them someplace to live. But no, they're not even doing that. They're just letting them fall apart. Oh no. Chill, there's a hotel here in Phoenix that was housing disabled veterans that were homeless. They kicked out all the homeless vets to allow the immigrants to move in.
Hey, I'm getting a phone call.
Homeless vets.
I'll be back. I'm getting a phone call.
All right. They literally kicked them out so the immigrants could move in. Because it was more important for the immigrants than it was for the vets. Tell me what's wrong with that picture. You're going to kick out American citizens for illegals because to you they're more important. Freebird, there's people that squat all the time. There's landlords that go out and have to go to court and everything else to get them kicked out of the houses. Okay, Betsu's. They don't care. They don't care. That's the problem. They don't care about Americans. Morning, Sassy. And I'll be right back. How's your day going, Sassy? Hope it's good. Ah, 3 trolls just left. Bye-bye. Well, Freebird, if you think about the banking system in its entirety, it's a joke. It really is. The inflation that people pay on loans is ridiculous. And on top of that, we've had what, 3 major bank companies fold in the last 4 months? Well, that's good to hear. Hope you have a good visit. Hope you have a good visit. Because Wells Fargo is closing their banks, Bank of America is closing their banks, Chase is talking about closing their banks, all because this government switched to CBDC, crypto bank digital coin. They think they're going to be obsolete. Morning, Dan. They're being obsolete, and they don't get it. This country was built off of banking. There's always been banks. They do, Sarah. They do. And more credit unions are popping up and setting themselves up so they don't have to deal with federal government bureaucracy. Because they're tired of the federal government intervention. So credit unions are basing themselves off of being a financial institute versus a federal credit union. These are eliminating the federal government's input. And that's the best thing they could do. Oh, believe it or not, Sarah, let me see if I got it loaded up. If not, I can load it up. I don't, but I can add it. Yeah, I'm gonna play you a song. And this is what I deal with every day. Hang on a minute. I need to go here, here. And here. This is what I deal with every day, right there. That's what I get to deal with every single day. He comes up here and pushes his way all over my desk and pushes my arm off my desk. If he thinks the desk is his. That's my dealings every day. If he has to be up against my arm. And he doesn't care if I got to use my mouse or not. He pushes his weight over now. Because he's a little shit. But that's my cat. But listen to this song and it'll explain a lot of things.
I remember remember a time not so long ago.
Just listen, Sarah.
Me and my grandpa watched a Western show. Those cowboys and outlaws were heroes in my mind. Looked up at Grandpa and saw a great big smile. And I said, Grandpa, why do you look that way? He said, I know they're your heroes and that's okay. That's not the true story of how the West was won. Come over here and let me tell you, son. It wasn't iron horses, the threat of a gun. It wasn't rich men or bankers, they were last to come. Wasn't law and order, or Custer's last stand. Just the blood, sweat, and love of the common man. That's how the West was won. My grandpa's gone, long passed away. Sometimes I still think he's with me today. I still watch those old movies, got new heroes this time. Those words that he said come back time after time. It wasn't iron horses, the threat of a gun. It wasn't rich men or bankers, they were last to come. Wasn't law and order, or Custer's last stand. Just the blood, sweat, and love of the common man.
And he does the same thing.
That's how
I gotta brush him every day from the summer. If it's not, I got cat hair everywhere. Listen to the song. The song says it all.
It wasn't iron horses, the threat of a gun. It wasn't rich men or bankers, they were last to come. Wasn't law and order, the Custer's last stand. Just the blood, sweat, and love of the common man. That's how the West was won. That's how the West was won.
You're exactly right, Shield. They are used to having things handed to them on a silver platter, and they don't understand what formed this country was people working together, people helping each other. Yeah, you had your roughnecks or your outlaws, but there were more people helping each other than there were outlaws. And when this country was forming, look at the Pilgrims. They built villages. They helped each other inside that village. They wanted something, they bartered or traded for it. Whether it be helping somebody build something or products that they grow on their farm. That's what we need to get back to. But that's not going to happen because people don't know how. Because they haven't done it for years. They don't know how. Now, if you think about it, look at Western towns. Cricket Yes, we were. There is a book at Ellis Island in New York that shows all the immigrants that came over. And a lot of them came over with no money, but yet they built their families. They built their families. They built their homes with no money. But yet they had the materials to be able to do what they needed to do because they bartered it or traded it and worked with each other. Like the Amish do. If you've ever not been to an Amish community, you might want to go check it out. The Amish do the exact same thing. They keep that tradition going every single day. Amish, Mennonites. That's what they do. They have their community and they help each other. If one person wants a barn built, the entire community comes together to build that barn. Together. They want a barn moved. They all come together and they pick that barn up and move it. I've seen barns moved with 500 people in it. Everybody picking it up with poles and wood and moving that barn wherever they wanted it. Funny watching all the feet underneath the bottom of the barn, but that's what they did. No, history will never repeat itself. Now, the only reason the Democrats want the border open is very simple. They want to maintain power, and they don't want to ever let it go. And their mentality is if we let all these illegals in, and they do on a regular basis 30,000 a day, they're thinking, well, let's give the immigrants the ability to vote. And let's give them all kinds of shit in the process so they vote for us. That way we never get replaced. That's all it is. It's all a scam. I mean, if you think about it, I understand people wanting to come to this country for a better life. I get that because this country, that's what happens. But do it legally. Don't sneak in because the moment you sneak in, you became a felon. Just like all the ancestors prior to us that came into this country, they all did it legally. They all went to Ellis Island and came into this country off of boats in New York Harbor. There's nothing wrong with that. They did it the right way, not the wrong way. We have so many illegal immigrants in this country that are undocumented, it's not even funny. And people don't see a problem with that. And I've heard people say, well, they're contributing to society. No, they're not. Whatever job they get, whatever money they make, they ship it out of this country. That's not helping society. That's helping people back in their country they came to. That's helping people back in the country where they came from. They're not helping here. If they actually helped here, that'd be one thing, but they don't. They ship all that money out. God, another shooting. Freeport is, that's not the way to look at it. Because everybody's an individual. Every group's going to have their, what I call clique. And I don't agree with clicks. I really don't. I don't do the click thing because there's no reason to have a click of the in group or the out group. We're all humans. We all have to work together. Because if we don't work together, we're never going to get anywhere. And actually, they're not God inalienable rights if you think about it, Freebird. They really aren't. It just so happened our forefathers sat down and did what they thought was best for this country. The only thing that God gave us is the right and the ability to live. Our forefathers gave us the Constitution. And not every country has our Constitution. Canada doesn't have our Constitution. Italy doesn't have our Constitution. And that's the biggest thing is our Constitution. That's what's driving this. Because our Constitution gives us rights that no other country has. And that's because of our forefathers. They sat down and did the right thing. They wrote up the Constitution, they wrote up the Bill of Rights, and they made it to where nobody could touch them. So people for hundreds of years would be able to have the freedoms that they have. The right to the freedom of speech, freedom of religion, the right to bear arms. And see, that one right now is still being battled constantly by the government. The government doesn't want the American citizen to have the right to bear arms. They keep attacking one part of that amendment after another. And the Supreme Court's finally doing the right thing, saying, no, that's unconstitutional. You can't do that. Why do you think bump stocks came back? Why do you think the arm stock came back? Because they're unconstitutional. The amendment clearly states we have the right to bear arms. It does not say what kind of arms. And our Supreme Court's finally seeing that. They're actually seeing the fact that, and reading the Constitution for what it says, it clearly states right to bear arms. It doesn't clarify what arms. It doesn't say, well, you can own this weapon, but not this weapon. It clearly states arms, period. It's not open for discussion. And the Supreme Court's finally seeing that. And they've been kicking out all these cases that the government's been trying to do to ban this item or ban that item. And like the Supreme Court telling them, no, you can't. They have the right. The Constitution clearly defines that as the right to bear arms, period. It's not open for discussion. You can't change that. Thank God the Supreme Court finally woke up. There's 3 more cases getting ready to go through the Supreme Court on gun control. And the Supreme Court is saying, no, you can't do that. Because it goes against the Constitution. And it does. But the sad part is you'd be surprised how many Americans don't know the Bill of Rights or don't know the Constitution. They really don't. Because they don't teach it anymore. No, that's not the American way. The American way was achieving the ultimate dream for you and your family. And see, Chill, now that you brought that up, I agree with that 100%, especially our flag. Because we got people from multiple nations in this country walking around flying their flag. You know what? This isn't Mexico. This isn't Tijuana. This isn't Italy. This isn't Cuba. This is the United States of America. Our flag is the red, white, and the blue. You want to be in this country and fly a flag? That's the flag you fly. Now, if you want to fly a Mexican flag, go to Mexico. You can fly it all you want to. This is not Mexico. I'm sorry. This is not Chile. This is not Cuba. This is the United States of America, and our flag is Old Glory. Fly it all you want. But don't come in here and fly your flag and expect me to honor your flag in my country. Not going to happen. This is not Mexico. This is not Chile. This is not Cuba. You fly that flag in that country, but not here. Because I guarantee you, you go down to Mexico, you go down to Chile, you go down to Cuba, and you come out with an American flag, you will automatically get attacked. But yet they don't get attacked here. That's the difference. And you don't come to this country from another country and then try pushing your beliefs onto this country. That's fine where you came from. That's not what we do here. Check that shit at the border. And I know people will say I'm being racist. No, I'm not. I'm being an American. My flag in this country is red, white, and blue. It's not a flag from Mexico. It's not a flag from Cuba. My flag is the American flag. That's what we fly here in the United States of America. We don't fly Mexican flags. We don't fly Cuban flags. This is not that country. You want that? You go back to that country and fly your flag all you want. Well, Cricket, let me ask you this question. Why do you think, why should people from other countries have the ability to come into this country and fly whatever flag they want? But yet, when we go to their country, we can't. You don't see a problem with that? I'm sorry, the Mexican flag, the Cuba flag, the Nicaragua flag does not take precedence over the United States flag. We're not those countries. And the funny part is people who fly those flags have not become U.S. citizens. And they want their country flag to be flown over here because they're expressing their pride for their country. Okay, I get it. Now take you and your flag back to your country. You want to express pride for your country and your flag? Take it back to where you came from. You know what, Frank? I've seen a lot of Italians in here, in this country, flying an American flag. They're proud to be an American, even though they're from Italy. They're proud to be an American. Cricket, get off of that high horse. Seriously. Get off that high horse. Believe it or not, this country was not just built on immigrants. No. You come to this country, you become an American citizen. You want to honor your own country? Take your ass back to your own country and honor it. You're not going to honor it here. You shouldn't have talked, Butterfly. You should not have talked. Bye. It's that simple. It's that simple. You want to celebrate your country? Go back to that country and celebrate it all you want to. Fix your guys' mistakes. Get the hell out of my country. It's that simple. A lot of people came to this country for the better life, and they became Americans. Actually, Frank, they don't. But you will see an Italian flag on restaurants. Okay. That tells you it's an Italian restaurant. If you're not willing to take loyalty to this country because you're from another country, you don't deserve to be here. It's that simple. You want to be an American? Be an American. No, actually, I like Italian food. It's really good food. But here's the funny part, Frank. Every Italian restaurant I've been to that has the Italian flag on the sign for the restaurant is also flying an American flag. They fly an American flag outside of an Italian restaurant, Frank, because they believe in America. And they brought their traditions here for us to enjoy it. And they are Italian American citizens. A lot of Italians keep their traditions, and that's what makes for the great restaurants. But people just don't get it. That's part of the problem with the society. They think it's okay for Mexicans that smuggle across the border to walk down the city street flying the Mexican flag thinking this is Mexico. Guess what? This isn't Mexico. Take your shit and go back to Mexico. That's simple. Obama was Islamic. He was Islamic. He paid people to stand in a hallway down at the White House from another country because he wanted Islamic lifestyles to be brought into this country. You know what, Cricket Day? That's your choice. Go down to Mexico and fly an American flag and tell me what happens. Try it. You're not gonna like it. You will not like it, I guarantee it. You will be attacked. You do not fly an American flag in Mexico. But yet it's okay for Mexicans to come here illegally and walk down the streets flying their flag with pride. You're absolutely right, Cricket. Mexico is not America. But you fly an American flag in Mexico, you get attacked. But we're supposed to allow them to fly their flag here? Bullshit. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Plain and simple. You want to fly your flag here? I should be able to fly my flag there. That simple. It's that simple. So if you're not going to let us fly an American flag in Mexico, better be expecting us not to let you fly a Mexican flag in America. You left your country because your country was screwed up. You wanted to come here for a better life. I understand it. I get it. But you know what? Do it right. Do it legally. Don't sneak across the border because you're automatically turned into a felon right then and there. The moment you sneak into this country, you're a felon. Because it's a felony to sneak into this country. Now you're a criminal. Oh, wait a minute. People don't realize that. Because they don't understand how the laws for the border run. Because nobody's ever looked into it. You come into this country illegally, you are automatically a felon. Because it's a felony to sneak into this country. And let's talk about this. How many countries out there have shut their borders down to illegal immigrants coming into their countries? Oh shit, what? About 90%? But God forbid America do it. Every other country can do it, but God forbid America do it. Seriously? Get real. Every other country has shut their borders down to illegal immigrants, but God forbid America try doing that. Oh no, we can't do that. That's wrong. Bullshit. If other countries can do it, we should be able to do it too. I don't want these people that fucked up their country coming over here and fucking up my country. It's that simple. Your country screwed up. Fix it. Don't come over here and make my country just as bad as yours. And that's exactly what they're doing. Because of the hatred they have towards America. And that's exactly what it is. Hatred. Because they hate that American citizens have the lives they have. And they don't. Your country screwed up. Fix it. Don't come over here and mess up my country. Fix your own country. Make your country better. It's that simple. Come together as a country and make your country better. That's all you got to do. But no, you want to run over here to the United States of America and bring your bullshit with you and then try making this country just as bad as yours? Oh, hell no. Get the fuck out. They're not going to do that to my country. Period. No, sir, they're not. And I can prove my point, Sarah. Do you think a Mexican's respectful to a woman that just got done being raped by him? And then he's going to run across the border so he doesn't have to get held responsible? Do you think that Mexican was respectful to an American that he just shot because he didn't give him the money in his back pocket? So he's going to run back across the border so he doesn't held responsible? Really, Sarah? Mexicans are respectful? Bullshit. Come to Arizona. Come to New Mexico. Come to Texas. You'll get your eyes wide open. Mexicans are not respectful to Americans. Hell, they still think America stole Texas. Morning, Linda Lou. Mexicans think America stole Texas when it was purchased legally. Cricket, I'm stating facts whether you like it or not. The Mexican population thinks we stole Texas from Mexico when it was purchased legally. That's their biggest problem. Is America has Texas and Mexicans think that should be theirs. And it was purchased legally. The United States of America paid for that property. But Mexico doesn't see it that way. Because none of the people in Mexico got that money. But the politicians sure did. That's not our problem. We paid for it. Sassy, that's just cricket day. They don't understand. Yeah, Linda, you're in the wrong chat. But seeing how you did decide to pipe up, Linda Lou, you can go into hiding because I don't like what you say over in Troll Central about me. Keep my name out of your fucking mouth. Well, Kit Kat, I don't have a problem with legal immigrants. I have a problem with 300,000 illegal immigrants into this country. Over 300,000 illegal felony immigrants in this country. And you think anything's going to be done to them? Hell no. Because the Democrats won't allow it to happen. And people wonder why people dislike Democrats the way we do. But according to the Democrats, they know what's best for everybody. They know what's best for America. Bullshit. Democrats don't know jack shit what's best for me. I know what's best for me. I don't need their input. They need to stay the hell out of my life. Sarah, you're right. I am close to the border. And I don't need a job. I've already worked my life. Now, actually, Christine, what this country needs to do, and they will never do it, they need to take the border, shut it the goddamn hell down, and then start telling people, before you come in this country, you're vetted. Close the fucking border down. Don't give them access into this country. Shut it all down. And I'll tell people, before you come into this country, you have to be vetted. Until you're vetted, you're not coming in. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Just like every other country does. No, it's not. No, it's not. Do I think it's okay for anybody to buy a Israel flag? No, but that's their choice, unfortunately. Because that falls underneath freedom of speech. They're making a statement. And if you look at her statement, where did it get her? She got censored. Was it a good statement to make? Well, probably not. Last thing you want to do is be censored by your own party. And 22 of her own folks helped censor her. That didn't look good, now did it? Pretty sad when 22 of your own party censor you. On top of the Republicans all censoring you. 22 Democrats were part of that censorship. But she doesn't get it. 22 people in her own party disagreed with her statement. Oh, chill out. Trust me, I haven't forgot. I watched protest after protest after protest where they burned the American flag. But they won't burn their flag, but they will burn an American flag in a heartbeat. Go figure. Funny, they will burn a United States flag, but they won't burn their own flag. And nobody sees a problem with this. Seriously? And if you get caught burning one of their country's flags, oh my God, look out. You got a fight on your hands. Because how dare you burn that flag? How dare you? But it's okay for them to burn our flag. Oh, hell no. I've knocked the hell out of people burning the American flag. Oh, I agree. She should have with her statement. She really should have. She's lucky all she got was censored. But she should have been expelled. Because that's the wrong mentality to have as a politician. Well, believe it or not, Dacia, you'd be surprised how many pro-terrorist politicians we have. And most of them, unfortunately, are Democrats. One of them happened to be the president. Twice. One of them happened to be a president twice for 2 terms. And he's still running the show behind Fucknut's title. We had a president that was a pro-terrorist. That thought he should bring all his Islamic family members in here so they can take over this country. But people forgot about that. How soon they forget. Well, I know Bush was. Both. So, and then we had a Secretary of State that was also the same way. Well, God forbid I bring up that name because everybody gets pissed off. You know what? Fuck Hillary Clinton. She's a traitor. She's a treasonist. She needs to be under the fucking prison, not walking the city streets. That woman needs to be behind bars for life, not walking city streets. But there's a lot of people that believe in her ass, and I don't know why. But that stupid wench got a lot of Americans killed because she sat on something for 8 hours. She sat on information for 8 hours and they got people killed. We're not talking about anything, Charlie. We're talking facts. You can either be part of it or you can go back over to Troll Central. I don't give a fuck. No. According to the federal government, Frank, the Confederate flag, they believe it was brought on by the KKK. When the stupid idiots in D.C. don't realize the very first flag this country had was the Confederate flag. That was our very first flag. Had nothing to do with KKK. That was the flag this country flew up until Old Glory was made. They flew the Confederate flag. But people don't know that history. People don't know that history. Funny, on important facts people don't know. Because a lot of people associate the Confederate flag with the Ku Klux Klan. But they weren't the ones that were flying that flag originally. That flag was flown before the U.S. flag was made by Betsy Ross. But people don't look into history to find out the history of the flags. Because that Confederate flag was flown in 13 colonies. Long before the U.S. flag came around. Oh my God, what the fuck do you want?
Good morning.
Good morning to you too. What do you want?
Okay, first of all, the first flag in America was the Grand Union flag, not the Confederate flag.
Same design, just Modified a little bit.
No, the Grand Union flag was the Union Jack, which is the UK flag, in combination with the stripes.
Like I said, it's the same flag, just a little bit of modification.
Heavily modified. And not the same. And
Oh
furthermore,
my fucking God, no.
well,
Hang on a minute. I gotta figure what this idiot wants.
Oh.
What the fuck do you want?
Oh, I just want to join in on, the conversation. I'm not trying to
You
be
just want to
ignorant.
join in? Okay, not a problem. You're not gonna join in.
One more question for you, Jeff.
Go ahead.
Okay. You say you believe in the Constitution. You say
Not only did I do believe in it, gee, I took an oath to protect it.
Okay, then why do you have such a problem with someone on their own property that they pay for flying whatever flag they want?
Well, what they do on their property is their business. But gee, when they walk down the middle of a street in a protest flying that flag and then burning my American flag, I have a problem with it. If you don't, there's a problem with you.
But isn't that still
what if when fucking the fucking transgender flags and the fucking pride flags are being flown over our fucking capitals, G?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? I don't want that fucking shit there. So what? Just because you want that shit there, you get more rights than anybody else? Do you see how this shit works?
So you're a bigot?
No, I just don't agree with it.
Well, then why don't you stand vigil outside of the Capitol that you see that flag at, and stand vigil since you're so strongly convicted on this, right?
I ain't got time for that, G. I'd rather just talk shit to you. Because I'd rather just talk shit to you, G. I would rather just talk shit to you.
You really don't.
See how you're into asking questions? Let me ask you this question.
Nope.
Do you honestly think that every American should be subject to the LGBTQ community and what they're pushing right now? Or do you think they should just deal with what they deal with like everybody else does in their own little community and not try shoving it down everybody's fucking throat?
Gay people aren't allowed to fly their flag or be represented, but you are. Is that what you're saying?
No, our country and our state.
Trying to shove it down everybody's damn throat.
Well, if you have such an issue with it, then go stand vigil outside of that pole and show that you really are pissed off about it. Or are you just talking shit and you're not really that mad about it? You could really give a fuck less. Is that it?
Well, G, we're doing the same thing that you do. You don't give a fucking shit about anything you talk about because you don't give a flying fuck. You just sit here and talk shit, so fuck off, G.
You just said that you did and you have a problem with it. So why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you protesting it? Crickets.
So why do you think that
Kettle
men
black.
should be able
Stop
to
calling
claim
Kettle
themselves
black.
as a woman, G? Let me ask you this question. Why do you think men should be able to claim themselves as a woman?
I think people can claim themselves as whatever they want. Isn't that
Does that make them who they are? No.
You're fucking retarded.
Here's a little bit of science information for you, G. Men and women, two genders. That's all there is in this country. Two genders. Male, female. XX, XY. That's it.
Okay, but science and your science-based.
You can't change DNA, G.
I understand that, but I'm also not going to tell someone.
And here's the problem. These stupid idiot men that claim to be a female are going into women's restrooms and committing crimes.
How many?
So far, there's been over 165 crimes committed by a man saying he sees himself as a woman.
Oh my gosh, 165 out of 360.
Should have been one, G.
Okay, where are they
Shouldn't
at?
have been one.
Pull up the articles.
Should not have been one.
Pull up the articles.
You capable, G.
Pull up the statistics. You're making the claim.
There shouldn't have been one crime, G.
The proof is under you. Go ahead. Pull it up. Where are they at?
Shouldn't have been one crime,
Where are
G.
the news stories?
But if you believe in that shit, G.
Where are the news stories?
Take your lappy ass and your fake bullshit somewhere else. Go back over to Troll Central. Shouldn't have been one crime against a woman because of a man saying he's a woman. But you don't get it, G. Shouldn't have been one crime, let alone 300. Shouldn't have been one. But you condone women being raped by men faking to be a woman. You got a serious problem, G. You need to go get it checked out. I'm sorry. No woman should be raped, period. but you're condoning it. And that's a serious problem. So take your ass back over to Troll Central and shut the fuck up. Go back over there and make your little statements you've been making all morning long, because I know you guys. You're that damn predictable. Have a nice day. The fact that you condone women being raped is bullshit. Especially you being a woman, G. I bet you if it happened to you, you're in a restroom and some man claims to be a woman comes in and rapes you, you'd have a different outlook, now wouldn't you? I bet you would, in a heartbeat, G. It was switched over to cross-gender and fake beliefs. Charlie, catch up. Have a nice day, G. None of them care. They really don't, Doxson. That's the problem. They think their life and their way of living is the best way possible for everybody, and it's not. We know that. And I don't think any flag should be flown on any one of our federal buildings other than the United States flag. And unfortunately, that's not the case. But I'm about to prove my point. Go here, here. Go here. Go here. Go here. JFK thinks I might be a serial rapist. Fuck you, JFK. Mo, you're the pussy boy. Shut the fuck up. Amy, pull the tampon out of your ear and stick it where it belongs. Shall I keep going down the list? G, seeing how you're sitting in the back room, can't handle the facts. Mo, would you like to see the files, you stupid moron? I've got the entire investigation files on the Stark. That's neither here nor there, Mo. Because according to you, everybody receives a participation ribbon, which you're wrong. But that's you, Mo. So grab your left ear, grab your right ear, and pull your head out of your ass. Now, what do you want, G?
Real quick. You care about kids.
It's always real quick with you now,
okay.
Isn't it?
You care about kids, right?
That's a stupid question to ask.
Okay, so you care about children. Do you care about trans children? Even though they're trans, they're still children. So do you care?
What makes them trans, G? What makes them trans?
Do you care about children that identify as trans? Yes or no?
Why are they identifying themselves as trans, G?
Doesn't
because
matter.
They're being told that.
Asking you.
They're being told that, G.
Okay, so in your eyes, that's what you believe. So do you care about the children who, in your eyes, are being told to be trans? Do you care about them?
Yeah, they shouldn't be being told that. They should be allowed to be a child.
Do you care?
Don't groom them, G.
Hold on. Do you care that
Stop grooming?
That 36% of those children, their children, are
Fuck you, C-Shock.
Are attacked in restrooms that they don't identify with. They're attacked in those restrooms. Do you care about those children?
I don't think anybody should be attacked, G.
Okay.
That's where you're wrong.
I just wanted to
See,
clarify.
you're not looking at the facts.
I'm asking you a question. I personally...
No kid should be attacked, period.
Okay. So you do care about those
See,
kids.
that's part of your problem, G. Guaranteed, because you're being a bully all the time. Something tells me you were a bully as a kid.
No, I wasn't actually.
Not happening, Praxis. Have a good day.
Okay, so you care about kids, and so you do care that they're attacked in restrooms that they don't identify with, and they're forced to go into. You do care that they're attacked.
I don't care that anybody's attacked, G.
So it goes both ways then, right?
And let me ask you this question, G. How would a child consider themselves transgender if it wasn't pushed?
Do you think kids don't have brains, Jeff?
G, if a kid is raised the right way,
Do you remember being a teenager? Were you ever rebellious at all?
Practice I told you not happening, so have a nice day.
Or did you do everything your mother told you to? I'm
Oh,
being
no, I
serious.
never, I was always around Bunk's kid. I was always getting in trouble.
Okay,
But
so
you know what, G?
you had your
Not
own
once did
mind.
I ever look at myself and say, hey, am I a woman?
Well, that's you, right? And not everyone has the same experience or the same rearing or the
Well,
same
here's the funny thing, Joe G. You don't get that put in your head until somebody puts it in your head.
Do you know that children are on social media, right? Especially
Yeah,
teenagers.
and they're watching people like Dylan Mulvaney. Go fucking figure. A fucking child pedophile. Because I'm sorry, you might like Dylan Mulvaney, you might not like him. I don't give a shit. When a man who's a man trying to be a woman makes the comment, I want to camp with 13-year-old kids, that's a fucking pedophile, G.
Okay, I'm not defending Dylan
How
Mulvaney.
you look at it, that is a pedophile.
Okay, I'm not defending Dylan Mulvaney.
What adult says I want to camp with 13-year-old kids?
Can you calm down? Is that possible? Is it possible?
Is it possible for you to get an actual brain?
Can't you just have a conversation? Why are you always yelling?
I'm not always yelling, G, but can you actually honestly get a brain?
Well, you know I have
Stop being a stupid troll.
What do you mean?
Oh, what do you mean? What I mean, G? You're over in Troll Central, typing right away with everybody else, G.
Well, yeah, because you blocked me, so that's why I'm
big
in there
deal.
I'm sorry.
Big deal.
Well, then is it a big deal that I'm in Troll Central?
Whose channel is it, G? Is it your channel or is it my channel?
Well, you're the one that has the problem with me talking about you in Troll Central, right?
G, I've told you multiple times. I don't give a fuck what you talk about. Leave my name out of your fucking mouth.
Why?
But you can't do that, just like nobody else can.
Isn't that freedom, Jeff?
No, that's attacking, G. There's a difference.
Oh, okay.
Your freedom stops where it interferes with somebody else's freedom, G.
How is it interfering with your freedom?
Really?
Yeah, go ahead.
You really want to ask that question, G?
How is it interfering with your freedom?
You really are that stupid. No. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice day, G. You really are that goddamn stupid. What the fuck you want?
I want to join in on the conversation. Quit booting me.
Guess what? Not happening. Not with that picture. Not anytime soon. Fuck you, bitch. Get the fuck out of my channel. Done. I told you get fucking trolls. Done. Get on with your fucking life. Move forward. Quit living in the fucking past. But you guys can't seem to do that. You always got to live in the fucking past. Grabbing for straws. Trying to make comments about 2-year-old text messages. Grow the fuck up and be an adult. Move the fuck on. It's that simple. Have a nice day. And I don't give a fuck if you guys like it or not. Not my problem. She's irrelevant, just like the rest of them. And they can't handle that. They're beneath me. They're irrelevant. And that bothers them. But I tell you right now, they're over in Troll Central running their mouth about me because they all got kicked off my channel. Fuck them, so what? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. And 30 questions is not going to be back in here. It's that simple. They have no get out of jail free cards. Yeah, just what I said. They went over there and started running their mouths again. They've been running their mouth about me all morning long. Fuck them. They got nothing better to do. Jerry Springer is dead, so now they're looking for something. Well, Tommy, you turned into nice with that comment. Common sense is common sense is common sense. Common sense tells you if you want to be stupid and you come over here, you're going to get blocked. That's common sense, Tommy. See, unlike you, Tommy, I'm not afraid to block people for being stupid. You do you on your channel. It's your channel. You run it however you want. The trolls want to come in here and be stupid, they're going to get blocked. But I can ask you the same question, Tommy. What happened to your common sense? You seem to have lost it somewhere. Because you allow 2 different people to be mods on your channel that dox people. Where's your common sense, Tommy? You know what? I don't believe in doxing. But you think it's okay. It always does, Tommy, because people take it the wrong way. But seriously, on a serious note, Tommy, you need to take your channel back and take it away from the mods. It's your channel, it's not theirs. They need to follow your guidelines, your rules, not theirs. But that's up to you. It's your channel. You can run it however you want. And I run mine my way. What up, Brad?
And walk up next to me, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to watch my mouth, so I had to just get off.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not gonna lose my shit in front of a little kid. It's just not happening.
No, I understand that. And Tommy, you said you don't want to talk about Red, but you constantly talk about Red.
Oh, is Tommy here?
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. We were giving Tommy lots of shit yesterday over in Easy's chat. So, hey, Tommy, why are you creeping around everyone's chat? And I'm going to tell you right now, Tommy, stay the fuck away from Gangster Granny. Okay, Tommy? You are not just a streamer just like Gangster Granny. You are nothing like Gangster Granny. So stay the fuck away from her and keep your shit the fuck away from her. Do you hear me, Tommy?
Well, Freebird updating the Constitution, there's nothing wrong with the Constitution if people actually understood what it says and read it for what it is. It's very clear. There is no in between the lines. It's very clear cut. There is no in between the lines like people think there is. For example, First Amendment, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of religion. That's clear cut. There's nothing in the middle. Very clear cut. And it's also very clear cut. You got to watch what you say because some things do have consequences that come back at you. And another thing that the government doesn't like that's very clear cut, the freedom to assemble. The freedom to assemble to readdress our government against against grievances. But our government doesn't like that one.
Hey,
that
Jeff,
one
can I
bothers them
Tommy?
more than anything else. Go ahead. I'm gonna go have a cigarette. Knock yourself out.
All right, cool. I'll be good. Don't worry. Tom, you're saying that you're trying to allow. So you're saying that you were trying to allow more free speech, but it ends up backfiring on you. Why does it end up backfiring on you, huh, Tommy? Why? Did you ever think it's your mods? Huh? Do you ever think that your mods can say whatever the fuck they want about anybody, but nobody can say what the fuck they want about them? And I'm not one to talk because I got Brenda and Brenda does Brenda things. But I don't go around saying, "Oh, you can have free speech on my channel," because you can't. You can't just go around saying whatever the fuck you want. So you got to pick one or the other, Tommy. What kind of channel are you? Okay, and don't go on around saying you're just a regular fucking streamer, because you're nothing but a shit-stirring, asshole, condescending, hypocritical, fucking dirty, rotten Canadian. Period. Exactly, Cricket. Then he goes around, oh, I didn't do that. Oh, I didn't do that. Oh, it's not like that here. It's not like that here. Hey, Tommy, why don't you put your fucking videos up so that way Easy can go over all your videos and show how much you are a fucking hypocrite you are. How much you fucking wiggle back and forth all the fucking time. Exactly, Cricket. Fucking, she is off limits. And if you're going to go over there trying to sweet talk Gigi like she doesn't know who the hell you are, you got another thing coming. Gigi's a sweet lady, and she doesn't need any of your bullshit around her, Tommy. Even I try to keep my bullshit away from Gigi. Do not put honey into hot water. Why would I do that anyway? Christine, that's weird. Funny how all troll Canadians who don't see what's wrong with themselves all losing their channels because no viewers. Yeah. And Tommy, if you hate me so much and you don't want anything to do with me, why you keep trying to be like me? Huh? Playing Thunderstruck now? Come on, Tommy. Come on, Tommy. Just sing the song. Wanna be like Red. Wanna be like Red.
Welcome back.
Yeah, that's the
You know
only
what's
thing
funny?
about the browser. That's the only thing about the browser I'm using. It randomly kicks you sometimes.
You know what the funny part is, though?
I was a good boy, so I didn't go too bad.
No, I ain't worried about it. You know what the funny part is, though? All these trolls come in here, and the first thing they cry about is being banned. You know what? I know I'm banned in quite a few channels. I just don't go to those channels. I don't cry about it. I just don't go there.
Why is Jolly Roger so worried about my job and my girl? I mean, is Jolly Roger a girl? Do they want my dick? Is that what it is? You want my dick too?
What did they say? Typical troll. Mods, you guys know what to do. Any troll comes in here, they can cry all they want to. I don't give a fuck.
I want to know what, are you telling me that all these trolls have never dated? So they've never, gone out with someone for a couple months and noticed that, hey, this isn't going to work between us. Maybe we should go do our own things. They never dated before?
Apparently not. Either that or they were never in a relationship to begin with.
Do they? Here's the funny thing about this, right, though? Are they under the impression, right? Here's a good one, right? Are they under the impression that as soon as you meet a girl, that's it? That's it. That's the one for good. That's the one for life. You're gonna stay with her for the rest of your life.
Oh hell! That's just how pathetic they are, Red. They think me and IP are dating, and we're not.
You better not be, because IP's garbage can is all mine.
No, we don't do that in here, Red. You know better.
Her garbage can. I'm living in her garbage can. What are you talking about?
You want the Italian food. You want the Italian food.
That's all I'm talking about. I ain't talking about anything else. I'm talking about the Italian food in her garbage can. That's it.
Charlie, are you on the hit list?
I don't want her. I just want her garbage can. What the fuck? I can't want her garbage can? Jeez.
I'm still waiting for that dish she was supposed to make.
You know how much good food is in her garbage can, I bet? Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, I hear about what meals she makes all the time, and it's like, holy shit, and I didn't get any? Well, no, apparently not, IP. Apparently, men and women can't be friends because people think you're dating. Do they not understand the concept of dating?
Do they not realize how many women I talk to on an average day?
Believe it or not, men talk to women better than they talk to men. They have more friends that are women than there are men. And women are the same way. They have more men friends than they have women friends. It's just how odd it works. I'm still waiting for the big ZD. Remember I was supposed to test it? But it's funny. If you look at society, men have more women friends and women have more men friends. And that's what creates a lot of the problems in society because the other side thinks the other person's cheating when they're not. Just because they happen to be friends. And how you doing today, Pete? Pete, are you there? Hello, Pete. Apparently your mic's not working again, brother. Nope. That's odd. Normally you don't have a problem. Hey, manicotti is good. Manicotti is good. Yes, Cricket Day, we can see you. Pete, are you on an Android phone or an iPhone? Now there goes Red. Now I try Firefox, try Internet Explorer. Try anything but Google. Yeah, but Gigi, I can't taste it. You're too far away. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Frank. Believe it or not, it is. You gotta switch browsers, man.
I know. I gotta figure this shit out.
Try Internet Explorer. It'll work better for you.
I don't know if I can use that on my phone now. That's the problem.
Should be able to. See, I have an Android here. Let me see if I can pull up Internet Explorer on it.
I'm just gonna try fucking Firefox.
Firefox would work better for you, yes. Oh shit, it did.
Was that your Obama phone?
Yes. Yeah, I haven't used it, so it died. Charlie says try Brave. Never heard of it.
Yeah, that's actually what Dan suggested last night too. Dan suggested to use Brave.
See, Christine says she has a Droid phone and she uses Internet Explorer. So you should be able to use it.
All right, I'll try that then. I'll wait till it does it again and I'll do it.
I use Internet Explorer on my iPhone and everything else without any problems.
Well, thank you, Freebird.
And on my iPhone, I also have, let's see, which one is it called?
Don't make any cheese whiz cheesesteaks. Actually, Cricket, if I was really stoned, that'd sound really good. Just saying.
Oh, hell. No wonder my battery's been going down so fast. Too many things still loaded up.
And if Gigi, if you're still here, don't worry. I got your back. Tommy's trying to play a little fast one on you. Trying to pull the wool over your eyes, but don't worry, Gigi. I got his ass. I got your back, Gigi. I called him yesterday in your chat at the end.
See, it doesn't tell me what this is for. What's that one is it? It's odd. I'm assuming it's who knows? Oh, Safari. It's Safari on my iPhone.
Yeah.
They all
That's
are, Freebird. They all are. They're all desperate for attention. That's why they do what they do. Just like this damn fool is desperate for attention too.
Who?
Look at the screen.
I'm looking. I don't see anybody.
Look at the yellow ball.
Oh. I was looking at the comments. Oh, I was looking at comments. I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't see anything.
No. Look at the yellow ball, the golden ball sitting on my desk. No, I won't do that, Christine.
Christine, do you really think, here's the thing, Christine, look, I don't hate you as much as I used to, Christine, so I'm gonna be nice about this, right? Here's the thing, Christine. How can you make someone that's literally a horrible person be mean just by saying, be nice? Imagine, Christine, if the world worked like that. Do you know what I mean? But just imagine if the world worked like that, where if you could just walk up to the most horrible person in the world and be like, be nice, and they'll be like, you know what? You're right. I'm going to listen to you. This world would be a totally different workplace, but it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like that. What you got to do is you got to fight fire with fire. Eye for an eye. Yeah. No, low blow for low blow.
No, the easiest way to deal with the trolls is you don't talk about them, you ignore them. and you prove that they're beneath you, and if you're better than they are, it is what it is.
Well, Jeff, this is part of like, this is part of where I disagreed with 76, because that was 76's thing, right? And it only made it worse. Now, take for instance what me, Ninja, BB, and Brenda did to Telescope the other night, plus everyone in my chat.
I wish I would have seen that.
We literally got Troll Central to go quiet for hours. Telescope said, "I'm bored of this. I'm going to watch The Exorcism 3." So we heard his bunghole.
Oh,
His bunghole. His bunghole was hurting. And then Troll Central was quiet for hours. I kept looking because I was up for like 2 hours after I got off, and I kept checking, and I'm like, holy shit, nobody said a fucking word.
Well, like I said, he's probably still having major issues with that. It got stretched too far. That pineapple was too big. Well, remember, that's just it. These idiots want information on Red. They want information on me so they can twist it however they want to. I've sat and watched Troll Central for days, not saying nothing, not even streaming. These idiots come up with some hellacious lies, and then they say, well, that's what Jeff said. But I hadn't streamed for days. They have created more lies than anybody on the internet. And they do it every single day.
They literally thought, dude, all I said was Buffalo Bound. Jeff, all I said was Buffalo Bound, and they literally thought I was going to my sister's to go hook up with my sister. Exactly. Like, that's how fucking stupid they are.
Well, it's like Carrie S. made the comment that I made the comment I was a commander. I've never said I was a commander. But she was in Troll Central. Oh, yeah, Jeff said he was a commander. Excuse me? Fuck that. I don't want that headache. Why would I make that statement? I like the position I was in. I love my job. There's no way in hell I'd want to be a commander. But she was trying to convince them that I made the comment I was a commander. Hell, look at the shit they say I've invented. That list keeps going on and on and on.
If you pay me, I'll let you be the commander of my fleet.
Pete, use Internet Explorer. You won't have the problem. Internet Explorer works no matter what.
Did you hear me, Jeff?
What?
If you pay me, I'll let you be the commander of my fleet.
Oh, hell no.
Okay. I got a lot of ships. Even Brenda has
a commander of any ship. I don't want to be a commander of any ship. I just want to be me.
It's no fun.
I enjoy life.
So do I. I pretend like I'm a pirate every day. Yar!
There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
You know what's funny, right? They sit there and make fun of me, right? They're like, oh, Red thinks he's a pirate all day, right? Where there's actually people out in the world. Right, Red? There's people out in the world that are actually dressing up like animals and pretending that they're animals, okay? Like literally pretending like they're animals all day long. Right?
It's called the furry movement.
Right. So they're sitting there making fun of me. Meanwhile, there's people out there that are fucking way worse than me. But no, they're going to come after me and make fun of me just because I'm like, yeah, we're pirates. Yar.
Morning, Jen. And Ren, I actually have a mouse pad. It says Fire Gear. It is a combination mouse pad, cleaning pad for my gun. It works great. No more cardboard. But I like the cardboard. It was a cheap mouse pad. Well, I've never figured out the furry movement, but these guys dress up as animals and then they go have sex, and to me that's just morbid.
Do you remember on Twitch, like a couple years ago? I think it was like right before the convoy. There was they made like that new community moderation team.
Yeah.
Okay, and somebody on that community moderation team thought that they were a deer and went on Twitch and had a deergasm.
Yeah. Well, hell,
Does
it's
anyone
gotten to the
remember
point
that?
where these idiots in this furry movement have had furry conventions where they all get together and have a free for all. Why don't you call it what it is? It's an orgy.
Well,
But they were dressed up as animals, skunks,
but
squirrels.
they make fun of us because
Right.
we have a pirate ship. Yeah, we're pirates.
Yeah, we walk around with we wear a patch over our eye. But yet,
Nobody even does that though. Nobody even really gets dressed up.
think about it though, Red. What's the most popular costume people do for Halloween? A pirate. The most popular costume for kids and adults is being a pirate.
Yeah, a free bird. I'm telling you. Look up girl on Twitch deergasm. Look it up on YouTube. You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Well, like I said, Red, the most popular costume for Halloween is a pirate. But that's okay. But yet, if somebody says they're a pirate, that's not okay. I haven't figured that out yet. Because your most popular Halloween costumes are pirate, fireman, policeman, and ghost, and a witch.
Yep, you're exactly right, BB. Yep, it nauseates them. It nauseates them how close we are.
Well, that's it. Because they're not close. Hell, if they're not attacking you or me, they're attacking each other. What does that tell you? Because I've sat there and I watched them go at each other.
Well, it's like Christina W. thinking that she's so much better than everyone else because she drives a truck. It's like, hey, dumb bitch, guess what? My brother drives a truck, and I bet she can outdrive you. You want to know why?
I've driven a semi. I could outdrive her. Driving a semi is not that hard. It's just a very big car with standard transmission. That's all it is. Because I've driven 18 speeds, I've driven 13 speeds, I've driven 12 speeds. It's no big deal.
Well, you know, some people have big dick syndrome because they got a little wiener.
You can drive a semi if you put on the side of it RV. All
you know what I bet you?
Endorsement.
Do you know what I bet you Christina W's problem is? Do you know why she has big dick syndrome? No, Jeff. You have to think about it in a different point of view. The problem with Christina and the reason why she's got big dick syndrome is because she's got no tits and no ass. How at your people.
Well, but something also tells me when she drives her truck to these truck stops,
her husband's probably pimping her out.
Exactly. Hey, Mama Red. Exactly. She turns into a lot lizard. Which will not surprise me one bit. Because the biggest paying profession for prostitutes are truck drivers. They get lonely on the road, you know.
Yeah, I know. My brother's a truck driver. He tells me all about it. Trust me. My brother's the kind of truck driver that drives to fucking Vegas and goes to the Bunny Ranch and pays $300 for an hour. That's the kind of truck driver my brother is. Yeah, he's out of his mind. But then again, he is my brother. So what do you expect?
Yeah, but I'm sorry. I don't want the unexpected present that comes later.
Well, whatever. My brother don't care. My brother's kind of do this.
When he starts bending pipes when he goes to take a piss.
Whatever. That's his problem.
When he bends the pipes when he goes to take a piss, he'll care.
Well, hey, that's his problem, not mine.
I watched a bunch of sailors doing it. Every port we went into when I was in the Navy. And they're like, well, why don't you? I was like, well, wait till you bend the pipes. Then you'll understand why. Sure enough, within a day or two, one of them was bending pipes because of something they caught.
That's why you go for the mouth. Always go for the mouth.
No comment. No, believe it or not, one guy even decided he was going to get hungry, and he was there, flighted off the ship with what did we call him? Clap of the mouth. And it only took about 2 hours. And his head swelled so bad, they had to airlift him off. And I don't even know if he survived. But he got clap of the yap. I'm sorry. Nah, not interested.
Ew.
I mean, his head swelled like a balloon. And it was within 2 hours of him doing it. And that was like gross. And watching him is like, and that's why I don't go do what you guys do. That's a good enough reason right there. Look at how big his head's swelling. Not interested. Welcome back, Pete.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. You must be on IE, Internet Explorer.
No. No. I found it and I went checking all my settings, found out YouTube was turned off.
Well, shit.
I don't know how that happened.
Who
But
knows?
I didn't do it.
Well, at least now we can hear you.
You really want to? Some people don't want to hear the madman of the
I've only pissed
airways.
off the trolls. It's no big deal.
Yeah. Hey, I do have a
Because
question.
they got banned.
Speaking of trolls, why is it EdTV allowed you to live rent free in his head? That's just obsessive.
I don't know. I think it's funny.
I think it's funny too. I mean, it's obvious he has a
I think he has a
fascination
crush
with
on
me.
me. I think he has a crush on me.
Yeah,
I don't swing that way at TV. I just don't. Sorry.
He's got a thing for both
I
of
don't
you.
believe in dick. I believe in tacos. Sorry, Ed.
Well, he's got a thing for both of you.
You have to
you
wonder
live in there
about
too,
him.
Pete. You live in his head too. You live in his head too. He's got a thing for both of us.
Yeah.
I
And
think
I'm
what
hardly
it is,
on
he
you.
doesn't like sailors. And Red will be right back. I think he doesn't like sailors.
I wonder why. Maybe he did not. Maybe he had a bad experience with shipboard life.
Who knows?
You know.
Who cares? He ain't worth it. He's still waiting for me to apologize to him, and like I told him when hell freezes over, and hell's not even close to freezing over.
Yep.
So I guess he's going to be waiting a long time.
Yep. Yep. So how's everybody doing today?
Good, pretty good. And said I didn't see you yesterday. Happy Veterans Day, brother.
Huh?
Said saying I didn't see you yesterday. Happy Veterans Day.
Oh, well, yeah. Happy Veterans Day. And gonna stay low key. Watch part of the Tennessee game after, they were getting their ass kicked. And they got their ass kicked by Missouri.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, it was pretty ugly.
Gigi, you can't fly a drone in DC, but you have to have a permit.
Yeah, they're coming out with strange rules on drones. That's for sure.
Yes, they are.
And has a lot to do with A, they're saying radio frequency interference, and B, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, no, because cops are trying to outlaw drones, so only they can fly their drones to spy, but nobody else can.
Right. Well, if I do see a drone flying over my yard,
I shoot it.
Yeah, I'm gonna. It'd be like doing target practice,
Yep.
So how many parts you can scatter.
No, I have a pellet gun that I will use to shoot a drone down with.
Yep.
And
Perfectly legal to do so. So, yep. Yeah. I just throw some buckshot at it, you know. So.
Well, see, I can shoot a pellet gun close to a building. I just can't shoot a real gun close to a building because of the quarter-mile law.
Yep.
But a pellet gun, I can get away with it.
Where'd Red go?
He'll be back.
Yep. Yep. Well. All right. Well, now that I finally have the part of the StreamYard issue. I mean, I was trying to get up on the red stream there the last couple of days, and it was just like screwing up all over the place. So whatever StreamYard's got going, they got some serious issues, and it's not just Google. So they must have done some type of update which totally skewered the whole platform. That's my guess.
No telling.
Either that or somebody tried to hack StreamYard and they totally screwed that up too and they don't want to admit it, which is also possible. So, anything is possible. Anyway, all right, I just wanted to check, make sure, if I could figure out the issue. But yeah, that was definitely strange that my audio settings were turned off. I didn't do it.
That's weird.
Yeah. So it must have been the last time I was actually up in StreamYard before today. That was a few days ago. So whatever, my settings is turned off. So for now, I guess it's temporarily fixed, but have you noticed that something's in the air?
Not really.
It's not. You're not getting easily congested out there in Arizona?
Nope.
You're lucky. You're lucky. They must have sprayed something there. I don't know. It's
No, there's no telling.
something in the air around East Tennessee.
Well,
Not
no
sure.
telling what they're doing.
Yeah, I know. Considering that everything's going on, it is getting a little weird. So anyway, Jeff, I'm gonna drop down and all that because I'm having trouble. For the last week, I've been having trouble talking. So anyway, good to hear from you. Happy Veterans Weekend.
You too.
Hope you're having a good one. And
Yeah, just sitting back relaxing.
I think I'll sit back and watch Ed TV obsess some more over things, I'm laughing. People live rent free in his head, and we aren't even trying. So.
Oh yeah, I know.
The Ed TV, you got some
funny.
serious issues.
It's funny watching these guys do what they do.
Yeah, I guess they have nothing else better to do to justify their existence. So, just like Teledope and Ed and G Abbott and all that, sad people.
Yeah, that's their problem, not mine.
Yep. All right, Jeff. Well, you take care. Everybody take care.
Like I tell them, they're beneath me. I'm better than they are, whether they like it or not. Not my problem.
I am what I am. Yep. So everybody take care. Have a good, safe weekend. Keep your head to swivel and Stay frosty, everybody.
Take it easy, Pete. And just think, we got our Thanksgiving coming up. And I'm ready for it. Hang on a minute, sorry. He says, let's hope he's flying it over the White House. Okay. Um, actually, believe it or not, DC in its entirety is a no-fly zone, except for special occasions. Because once a year they do have parachutists dive into DC, but it's only for like a 3-hour window, and it's only by permit only. Interesting to watch it though. It's a big, huge show. Oh yeah, they will. Who knows? Oh, let's see. Curiosity killed the cat. Apparently Amy's listening. No, Amy, you're wrong as usual, but that's okay. No, there's no telling, Charlie. How long have we been going? Holy shit. Yeah. Well, you know how it goes with monetary stuff, Charlie. It's going to rule no matter what. For some reason, it always does. And like the saying goes, he who has the money has to say so. You know, I don't agree with that. I really don't. Well, that's just the mindset of some people. Well, we all know about how people's mindsets are. Half the time they're not accurate. They don't pay attention. They get things wrong. They misconstrue. They twist things around. And it goes on and on and on and on. YouTube is changing their ad program, and I don't agree with the way they're going. Because the direction they're going with it doesn't make sense. And it's going to make it harder for streamers to be able to use it as a aid to generate revenue. Because what they're doing is they're hurting streamers, or what YouTube calls creators, with their new format they're doing. And apparently they want to make more money for themselves and less money for the creators, as usual. It's all about the dollar. Because what they're doing is changing. I'll let him. Who cares? No, what they're doing, Charlie, is they're setting it up to where people who run adverts on their channels, used to you be able to hit skip after a couple seconds. They're making it to where you can't anymore. I don't use Brave, so I don't have to worry about it. Edge works. Edge is the new version of Internet Explorer. That's what Edge is. I've been working with it to understand it. I like the AI options. Yeah, I know. Edge is through Microsoft. It's Microsoft Edge. I like the AI options. Quite interesting. What are you talking about, Andrew? Oh, this ought to be interesting. Let's see here. Go here, here, here. Go live chat. Let's see. Oh my God, he's worried about making sure he's not modding clone names. But with that being said, y'all have a great day. Be safe. Enjoy the day. Because tomorrow's Monday. May God watch over each and every one of you guys. Peace.